Is that you, Santa Claus? Gifts I'm preparing for some Christmas sharing. Hanging my stocking, I can hear a knocking. Is that you, Santa Claus in the Philippines?
Sure, it's dark out, ain't the slightest spark out.
Avoid that traffic and those barking dogs. Who's there? Who is it stopping for a visit? Is that you, Santa Claus?
Is that you, Santa Claus? Yes, hang in the stocking, I can hear a knocking. Is that you, Santa Claus? Now stop teasing, cause I know you're there. Like a girl on a red street, I can see your feet.
Is that you, Santa Claus? Gifts I'm preparing for some Christmas sharing. Hanging my stocking, I can hear a knocking. Is that you, Santa Claus in the Philippines? One peek and I'll try there. Oh, oh, there's an eye there. Is that you, Santa Claus?
Please, please, pity my knees. Say that's you, Santa Claus. Avoid Red Street and Heidi and George, of course. Merry Christmas to all, and to all a good night.
Hey, what is going on? Look who's up!
Good morning, guys. How you guys doing today? Magandang umaga. Lahat. Mayang buntag. Masating araw.
Me and George was just having a great discussion right before we came
Yes,
on.
we were talking about if you love to hate your dogs, go watch Doggone. Yes, root for the bad guy. Same.
We were watching Sappy movie and talking shit about expats last night. We were really enjoying ourselves. Actually, what we were just discussing, it's time to dig up some more drama. So right now we're taking applications of fuck up, messed up
Whoa,
shit
dude.
about expats.
Chill.
It's been long enough. I think we only have to wait, what? Is it 15 minutes before I can say all that? Who knows and who cares? So what I'm saying is we're taking application of expats that are living here in the Philippines that are a poor example, bad example, or what not to do, so we can thrust them into the spotlight and say, hey, what the fuck is really going on?
Whoa. What the
You're not
hell?
going to say pump the brakes? You usually say pump the brakes.
Pump the volume, pump up the volume, pump the volume.
Bet you just said it at the same time, didn't you? I said, you know what? I hate to say it. It is time to actually find some drama because I know it's here. I know it's here. Well, you're the one that says. You said you. You brought up Elliot Eastman.
I can make you a drama right now. Make a sandwich with.
And I told you they didn't give me the bread yesterday and the order.
Exactly. I am pissed at.
Well,
Don't sue us. I can't tell the name, but because they didn't give us bread.
Food Panda,
Because
he didn't get a sandwich.
now I can't tell Heidi to make me a sandwich.
Here's the messed up part.
Okay,
We ordered. This is true. We ordered from Food Panda, and we were sitting here watching movies and stuff. So we weren't going to get out there at 3, 4 in the afternoon. I get it. So it's like ordering stuff in the U.S. and everything else. So we ordered from Food Panda 1,300 pesos, which in the Philippines, that's not a small amount of money, but it's not a big amount of money. Less than $30 worth of stuff. Do you know half the stuff they claim they didn't have? And instead of refunding it to the card like they normally do or on Grab, they put it into credit. They didn't even try to put it back to the card or anything. And I wasn't happy because you have to. So now we've
It's
got
somewhat like a pain in the ass.
550,
It's not a make or break, but it is a pain in the ass.
It's a pain in the ass. So, yeah, are we going to order? The answer is yes.
It's
But
kind
if
of
you
like
took it out of
instead
my
of
credit
returning your
card,
money to Amazon, they just give you Amazon credit, which is a pain in the ass.
and it's a day's wages. So if you were making, let's just say you made $200 in the U.S. and you bought $200 worth of groceries, and they put 100 on credit for you and didn't put it back, and you could have used it for gas and other shit. I go by what's like going on in the Philippines. That is, that's a decent wage by far here. The amount that we spent on the groceries yesterday. It's not a brag. It's not a boast. It's the problem that they dropped it into credit.
It is a constant issue. Now, just keep in mind, just real quick, again, I'm not overstay. Don't take this the wrong way. Again, it has nothing to do with him. But what I'm saying is, you guys can do the overstay way, which what he does is, let's say he wants, for example, Kentucky Bourbon, aka Jim Beam, Jack Daniels. So his roundabout way to circumvent this issue is he would order Jack Daniels, he would order Jim Beam, you know what I'm saying? He would order Old Granddad. No, they don't have Old Granddad here, but I'm just giving an example. Point being is he would order different products
To make sure you got
of the same item, so to make sure he would get the same thing. Now that's up to you if you guys want to do that, but you have to keep in mind that the only backfire or the
you're going to end up with it. You could get it all.
right, you could get it all. So, but again, that's up to you guys how you want to circumvent this issue. But same thing, if let's say Heidi ordered bread, aka there's different types of bread. There's gardenia bread, there's Mangwan's bread, that kind of stuff. Point being
Did
is
your mom take Tylenol?
what? That's far off. I honestly don't think so because Tylenol is not popular. But anyway, the what I'm getting at is for example, if you order bread, if you ordered three different types of bread, all three breads might show up. You know what I'm saying? And then, well, guess what? Bread does go bad here fast, real fast. In 1 week, your two out of one of those bread is already
Everything
green.
goes bad here quicker than
No,
any
so
place
no,
I've
no,
been
no. So
to.
again, there's nothing wrong with his method, but I'm just letting you know there is a side effect. You have to pay for the.
That's a side effect. I guess we should have got out, but who was going to get in the traffic and everything else? You're paying the fees and everything else.
Oh
But we've been using them for
well.
five years, and all of a sudden they're putting credit back in instead of back to the
Traffic yesterday
card.
was just horrible.
Out of
I did tell
stock
you. I did
is
go
one
out
thing.
for an errand and I told Heidi.
Hi, Raymond.
I told her if you want to go to this new Walter Mart, which is a Walmart, I guess.
Not today.
If you want to go to this Walter Mart, we can go, but I wouldn't go further than that because traffic is just insane.
Yeah, Nate was out and about yesterday.
Yeah, so
Yep, it's time. So, yeah, for those that have been watching, beings, there are so many other different lives going on the last couple of years, and we've kind of stuck to the same days for a long time. We decided to switch up our live days again. Plus, you guys know George has been busy lately, sleeping, whatever he's got to do. And I'm like, you know what? Thursday's market day. Let's switch it out of that because of different things going on. And so, yeah, we've rechanged our days. So we will officially stick to this and Saturday. We put the dates in the description and everything, and it'll be somewhere between 8 and 9. Depends if he's up, depends if there are packages coming. So it turns out to be in the Philippines. It'll be Wednesdays. We said Monday, Wednesday, and Saturday will stay. So then that would be Sunday, Tuesday, and Friday nights in the United States starting.
yeah. Now, just real quick before we get to the topic, just real quick, Lou made a good point. I know it's a little to the left, but this is actually what me and Heidi were literally talking this morning before the live. Lou says,
Before he smacked me, he said, "Get a sandwich."
correct.
I
I didn't say that. No, but no. Lou says when I visit my cousins in Mexico, I still do not fit in. Even though we speak the same language, well, remember language. I did tell Heidi that language and knowledge of the culture doesn't allow you or make you think that you know the culture. There's two different things. And then, the same language, eat the same food, almost look alike. So I cannot imagine a white guy trying to fit in Philly Willy. No, no, no. And also,
We were talking about that.
right, we were talking
That's
about
the
that.
whole
Yes.
topic is Island of Misfits. We were discussing it. A few people are like, yeah, and they've discussed it. And there are the cultural differences, like whatever country you're from. And for some reason, I've told you, I've been to Europe, I've been in Mexico, I've been to Belize, I've been to the Middle East. I've been to a lot of places in Canada, and the one thing I have found, it seems like the most toxic expats are here in the Philippines. Now, someone say, "Oh, screw it, they're in Thailand and this and that." Yeah, I don't know. It seems like we get the misfits here. Am I a misfit? Hell yeah. At least I'm going to admit I'm a goddamn misfit. I know I'm a misfit, and I admit it. It's kind of like going to AA. First, you got to admit you have a
Great
goddamn
band,
problem.
by the way. But anyway.
And it's like, yeah, I'm gonna call y'all asses out. YouTubers, especially. Matter of fact, some of them are the weirdest people that are here and the most misfit expats I've ever seen.
Actually,
And I challenge your asses too, because
actually,
they're misfits on top of misfits, and they want you to see their misfit shit going on. And it's like, you do realize that Philippine Antics will cover you down the road. So I would like everybody to send us to philippineantics@gmail.com or go on to Messenger and look us up and send us this what the hell is really going on out there. Now, we're not going to hunt down people's sexuality and all this other weird shit that has nothing to do with something that someone can learn from or what not to do here. But we're definitely, I see somebody threw in exactly who we were talking about this morning. We were talking about Mark Thornton's widow because her shit came up in the feed.
yeah.
How she's getting her support for her kid through Social Security, aka her lifestyle.
Well, I mean, that's fine.
I mean, she's already got beat, yeah, but there's really no lesson in teaching that she's getting Social Security for her kid. She's got men backing her up right now, literally backing her up.
Well, I mean,
Old dude prop up.
that's irrelevant as far as if
It was
guys
just fun to say.
if guys want to back her up, that's fine. But what I'm getting at is the on the same,
Hey, Sarah.
not going back around in a circle. It's kind of funny that that me and Heidi were talking about the same thing. That people who don't know try harder to back themselves up,
You
to
tell-
prop themselves up and prop other people up and support them. Like, yeah, he's wrong. We're right. No, no, dude, you guys are freaking idiots. You guys don't
The
know.
louder they are, the
In
more
fact,
they repeat it.
most of the time, whenever I say shit, I don't direct it at anybody, but somehow
Oh,
they
wait a
get
minute. They said there's an echo.
right.
Oh, wait a minute. This is-
Oh, yeah. Somehow they.
Is that better,
No,
guys?
it's this one. Now, the thing is, they back themselves up and they're like, "Oh, he's
Is that
wrong.
better?
He doesn't know shit. He's this. He's that." Yeah, you try to bring me down because honestly, one, you're a closet racist because you're like one of those
Ouch,
freaking.
shots fired.
Well, it's not shots fired. It's kind of like, okay, here's a
morning.
blatant example. It's racism. You're like, what do you mean racism? You guys know about ancient Egypt, ancient Aztecs. There's no way ancient man has made this because it's too advanced. Dude, dude, exactly. Yeah, you're looking at me like that because you're not like that. Because what I'm saying is these are the type of people like, oh, there's no way ancient Egyptians made this because they're Egyptians. Oh, there's no way ancient Aztecs did this because they're Mexicans.
That's why I'm like, yeah.
No, what I'm saying is, babe, it's a. Here's the thing: if you think somebody is lesser of you because
I do it
they're
all the time just because. That's just me, though. I've got a lot of issues.
no, there's a difference. You will pick on Americans,
I'm an equal opportunist no matter what
correct?
country they're
Which
from
makes
because they
you
think their shit
correct,
doesn't stink.
correct.
I know my shit stinks,
Okay,
and I don't mind saying that they look like
just
shit. and
made
sound
my
like shit,
point. You're not racist because you will pick on anybody. You're equal
including the
opportunist.
ugly tourist.
Correct.
Hey, ugly tourist, I just want to let you know you will not qualify. I know you're already doing things that are out there, but
Well, what I'm saying
unfortunately,
is,
we're not going to pick you
Right,
because
right.
we really like
okay,
you.
just real quick
Maybe
again.
another day, man.
Those that goes against me, I hate to say this, then you really need to rethink things because honestly, even behind the camera, I'm going to tell you right now, even Heidi will testify against this. I even say a lot of things like in a very neutral way. I said, doesn't matter whether you're a Democrat or Republican. This and this and this. These are facts. The end.
Don't get me going, dude.
No, 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 no. Babe, that statement alone, again, the fact is, I made a statement that behind the camera, I tell Heidi, doesn't matter which side you're on, here's are the facts.
Yeah.
Don't I make that literal statement? Point being is, if you actually know me in real life, you're like, okay, George is very neutral. Doesn't matter if I go against me. Here's this fucking weird thing. And I even hate it because I even tell Heidi, you can't tell me I'm a liar because I don't lie. Point being
No,
is...
you don't.
No, see? No, Heidi will tell you, I don't.
But
even if it'll
you
incriminate
do
me.
omit things, which is
Right.
sometimes
But
you
omission
hold-
is not necessarily guilt. You can argue with that if you have a girlfriend, because most of the things I omitted is because of our relationship. If you have a girlfriend,
But if-
ex-wife, or anything, you will and should omit anything before your relationship, because everything you say can and will be used against you in the court of your spouse. Fact. Nothing to do with the law. Anything that you say can and will be used against you before your spouse will be used against you in the court of your spouse. Fact. Nothing to do with the law. Nothing taking sides.
Okay, let's. All right.
Babe, you're the one who...
All right.
And trust me, I tell Heidi this too.
Can we get back to picking on the
If you
expats?
don't want me to say something you don't want to hear, don't ask. Fact. I'm not... See, that's the sad part. I really would shoot myself if it's the truth. I would. But anyway.
Here, let them see your shirt. The front of your shirt, show 'em.
Oh, it's a pineapple.
It's Christmas pineapple. I was supposed to have a matching shirt, but literally George is now representing a 3 or 4X he's got on, and they sent me 2 of them. And if it fits George, it ain't fitting Heidi. Not even as a tank top. I thought about cutting it up and finding a way for it to work. I'd have been lucky to get it on one boob, dudes. So I was like, it's a joke, but in other words, I could have used it as one of those halter tanks across my boobs or something. Babe, you got to admit, for this being a 3 or 4X, that's really tight. And you're tiny. Well, stop staring at my boobs, dude.
Actually, hit that pause button.
Oh.
I mean, not pause, the
He
mute
doesn't want
button.
me. You got.
George, is this blood?
George,
Did you kill another kitten today?
will you stop? Who knows?
That was a really good teriyaki chicken, I'm just saying.
Anyways, we were talking about a surgery I had a while back. So
No.
after I lost substantial, he wanted to know if I had breast implants. So I'm like,
No. Heidi had breast reduction.
Because at one point I was more than 100 pounds than I am now. So I've lost weight, but I've gained part back what I've lost. And like I said, if I continue just to eat the junk food that I was, then it would all come back. I'm trying to stay away from the junk food, but all in all, it was a reduction. So it was reconstruction and reduction, but this was a while back. It's been quite some time. So that's what he was asking. So that's what I was. Let's see what's going on. Quite a feat to make it through the holidays when they start in September, right? Welcome back, G. Yeah. We did not have that power outage. After all, it was weird. It listed our areas and everything else, and I guess it was rescheduled. Not all of it. Very few words. Unfortunately, I've been to a lot of places. I told you guys with my mental capacity, and I've learned some words. And I hate to say it, with AI and the translators in my phone, and I could put them up on the screens and translate, it makes me even lazier. And right now, there's no room in my head for something like that.
Look. In all fairness, Heidi's very intelligent. I
I
make
don't have the patience.
the only thing I make sure Heidi's trained on is make me a sandwich.
And in my little brain, my little
I'm joking, guys.
globa gummy bear brain, there's just no room for it in there.
I'm joking, but anyway.
That's all I got time for is to make you a sandwich. So
Exactly.
look, look at Cookie. You can see Cookie in the corner of the.
Oh, she is down.
Yeah,
Oh, she's a
she's being sweet.
right.
So I've learned some. I understand. Probably should, being I'll be living here the rest of my life, and I am. But unfortunately, it's just a no. When I think about, it's a no on learning more. Hi guys, do you think tourism is collapsing or declining after the killing of foreigners that happened recently in the years? Not as much as we've discussed that happens in America that get unreported. There's more going on in America
I would
right
say
now on that.
it's kind of like a wash. Okay, just real quick.
I think
again.
it's infrastructure and other
Correct.
things, the scams and the small things that go on that are turning them
For
off.
starters, most of the killings are in areas that
People shouldn't be.
This
in
is my
to begin
opinion.
with, and
This is my opinion. But I always say this behind the scenes and to our regulars. If you're a regular, I mean, I've only seen you like a couple times. But what I'm saying is, most of the killings that happen to occur to foreigners happen in areas where that I don't know where you're from. Again, like I said, I've only seen you literally a couple times. Um, they happen to Americans, I would say twice at the most part from where you're from,
well,
I assume.
yeah, these are, what was it recently? Koreans. It was a lot of Koreans, in my opinion, wrong place, wrong time.
And there are areas where
massage places,
foreigners
looking
should
for
not
happy endings,
be in.
out at 3 a.m, living down in Mindanao, giving out loans.
Well, okay,
to people
Mindanao's a
with-
little, broad, but
The whole point is, it seems like the ones that have, there's something going on. It doesn't mean they
point
deserve
being
it.
is
I'm not
they're
naturalizing it,
specifically,
but
and they're in an area where a foreigner should not be in. That's what I was getting at.
bottom line for tourism is they're not cleaning the country up. It's still dragging way behind the other Asian countries, and the infrastructure is bad. The cost of electricity is astronomical. The cost of the goods versus what's provided, it's really weird. The same value of a $10 massage in other Asian countries versus what they're offering here isn't always, up to par. They're choosing for other reasons, babe. And it's
No, I get that.
and it's
but
the corruption would
what
be the
I'm
biggest thing.
answering the actual question again. The killings do not outweigh the benefits considering the location. What I'm saying is anybody who has enough brain to figure out to read, keyword read, because there's actual internet, or rather I assume you're from America, okay, would have enough know-how to read on the internet that the US government says don't go in this area.
Yeah.
Again, I speak in a very unbiased point of view. It doesn't matter unless I'm wrong that you're from Papua New Guinea. I don't know. You don't. You assume that I know where you're from, but as far as the answers you're concerned, most of our viewers are American, so therefore I'm catering to our American viewers.
Okay, so directly with the question, do you think tourism is collapsing?
No, not even close.
I think it is. A lot of the areas like Surigao and the
That's
others, the tourism is way down, and
okay. Well, in Angel City, no, I disagree because guess what? I don't literally almost run over Americans, but whenever I drive by Walking Street, there's definitely always an American in front of my car.
a slut's going to be a slut.
What I'm saying is, what are the probabilities? Do the math. What are the probabilities that whenever I drive by Walking Street, keyword, I don't stop there. I just drive by it. There's always a freaking American in front of my car crossing the street.
Yeah, it's a small portion. But
I know that it's a small portion, but the probabilities are immense.
Okay,
It's
I'm
it's
2
more
hours.
astronomical than you realize.
Yeah. Mark Thornton's wife Jen is out there selling it to whoever is to pay her the most money. Pretty much. Pretty much. I'd agree with a few things. She's
Wait,
um.
Isa. Hey, Isa, how you doing?
Hey, what's going on,
How you doing,
Isa?
Isa?
Hi, hi. Right there it is. What's your name? Zero. F you, Zekio. I think he meant Zekio, but what's your name?
I haven't seen that meme in a while.
Any thoughts of Sunshine wearing a wig? He's done that before. He did that during a live stream one time. Is his wife not loving him or something? No, it's a joke. Actually, when I seen him wear the wig again, I was like, he watches our channel. He never wore the wig before, and we do a lot of wigs. Maybe it just gave him the idea to break out the hairpiece or something. It was kind of weird. We've been doing wigs for a while, and I seen him. He just put it back on Facebook again. And I'm like, he's got his wigs out again. So I think it's funny. He's just doing a lot of joking and stuff. Yeah, sorry guys. Yeah, it's echo, echo, echo. Yeah, sorry guys.
Oh, that
So
was
the
earlier
first
though. That
15
was
minutes
earlier.
is echo. Yeah, so
It's kind of weird. We do have a soundboard.
good
The
morning.
default it doesn't have an echo cancellation on, which is kind of weird. It should be the first default on.
Yeah, and usually I do hit the button, but I guess I turned it on, had the power, and if I get distracted like I always do, it doesn't take a whole lot. A fly could go by, and I'm like, I lose concentration. So it's one of us forgot afterwards. Once it would that would be me. Uh,
Hey, Flip and Dive, how's it going?
hey, hey, hey. Let's see. I'm a closet crazy person. Yeah. We were just talking this morning. The next live stream will probably be something about who's crazy in your house, the Filipino or the expat. I said, I'm betting both of them sometimes. I said, what does that cause in the household situation? I said, there's somebody, ain't nobody perfect, in talking about people. And especially get up to a certain age, you start to lose your mental capacities. And a lot of these guys, like I said, on average are 50, 60, 70 years old when they're coming here, and they're not holding all their marbles together. Truth. So I could only imagine.
Well, not to mention, again, I'm not picking on anybody or any race in particular. The reason why I say this because it applies to everybody. Because age does not pick a race. What I'm getting at is there's always an old saying that applies to every race that I'm aware of. That you can't bend an oak tree. You know what I'm saying? By the
Yeah,
time you
you
guys are
never.
here, you guys are already oak trees. You,
Well,
they can't bend you. In fact,
and most of them are dating the women that are in their 30s, 40s, and they're pretty much set on a lot of their stuff. A
right.
lot of people go into relationships thinking they can change people or that they will change in time. You can get some of it, like if they drink a lot or doing drugs or something. Some of them can kind of get away from some of that. But like me being stubborn and a bitch and crazy, I said, that shit ain't going away. I said, all that stuff is just going to keep following me. I could change some of my stuff and patterns, but,
Well,
it's,
this is part of the actual topic. Like Heidi
hey,
says,
good
it's
morning,
like
Enzo.
for instance, our title right now. I said right now because it may change. Island of Misfit Expats, foreigners who found home but not transformation. A transformation meaning it's possible you come fly down here and you will not adjust
Well, no, and some will actually
because you guys
leave.
are oak trees. Some of you are oak trees that you will not bend, and no matter what, for right or wrong, and keyword right or wrong. What I'm saying is, whether you're right or you're wrong, you will not bend. You know what I'm saying? You will stay your ground whether you're right or wrong. And that's the thing. Most of the time, whenever in our channel, this channel, we say things, hey, just so you guys know, this is the law, this. We get a lot of flack because why? We have a lot of expats, flack from expats that are one, never been here, two, that are expats that have been here, but they're still doing the wrong thing, not necessarily the right thing. And I even said in this channel several times, dude, you guys don't have to listen to us. I'm just telling you, I specifically tell you what is according to the law here in the Philippines, all wrong. That's up to you. Follow the law or you don't. You don't have to, but doesn't make it right.
I'm above the law.
You know what I'm saying? Well, that's how most Americans, keyword Americans, think here.
Oh, it's just not Americans. I hate
Um,
to say it.
no,
It's the
no. I get
British
that.
and
No,
Filipinos sometimes too.
but
There
point
is
being is,
yeah,
and I even say a lot of things like
what
you
law?
guys don't know shit, and there's a saying here that says "bato-bato ya sa langit, kung mataman, huwag magalit." I mean, which means you're mad at me because I said something that it hurt you because subconsciously you know you're wrong.
I called it
But
butt hurt.
here's the thing. Guess what? I stand by my ground. I know what I say, both in culture and both in by law.
Hey Ryan,
You know what I'm saying? So
Ryan and Chew. Come
sorry.
on.
And again, you're racist to think I'm stupider than you are, but the fact that you think I'm stupider than you are makes you a racist. Intelligent. Trust me, I'm not even that intelligent. I'm slightly, I even say this a lot of times, I'm slightly above average.
Speaking of racist, absolutely not. That's a nice guy. And Ryan and Chew is in the house. Hey guys, been a while.
Well, normally some one guys in that
Good
rain. It's
morning.
just we're in the really bad season. I mean, it's kind of annoying.
Yeah, hi Curtis. Good
We're
morning.
in the rainy season. Hopefully, it's over. We're waiting for it to be over.
Yeah, we did hear about that. It's affecting here. We have weirdly one of the games yesterday that I play. I only play like one of them. I've been playing for like 2 years. It actually mentioned the Amazon Web Service and it affected it. Trying to figure out how the game is run through it, but they must own the game or something.
Well, for
But
those of you
yeah,
who
we
don't
did.
know, Amazon is having some issues, and in order to
Uh-huh.
fix those issues, they have to basically. It's kind of like you can't fix an engine while it's running. You know what I'm saying? I'm trying to be very neutral here. But what I'm saying is, you as a mechanic, everybody knows that you can't fix an engine while
I
it's
thought it
running.
was hacking and passwords were taken and other
I
stuff.
wasn't going that far, but
I don't
okay. Since you said those, what I'm saying is,
know.
again, you can't fix an engine while it's running. I'm just giving a very, very simple analogy here that they had to do those things to fix it. And the side effect of them doing that is there's apps and other services that will not work in our side that we're aware of. If that makes any sense. What I'm saying is I don't know how bad the blackout is on your side, but on our side it happened for what, a day?
Yeah.
Right. Well, what I'm saying is, I don't know how bad it is in the U.S. How much the blackout is as far as the Amazon thing is. No, no, that is so hot. But anyway,
Right. But
anyway.
anyways, also I want to let you guys know, speaking of Island of Misfits, they keep catching these expats left and right, breaking the law, running businesses. They just caught a bunch more other, and for some reason, I guess people, unless they're from certain countries, they don't consider other Asians are still expats here. We still have other Asians that watch
Yeah,
our
I mean, a
channel.
Korean and a
I
Chinese
kind
is
of
still an expat.
Right. So it's sometimes I'm like, oh, okay, well, they're just from
An
China, and
Australian
I
still an
kind of
expat in the
discount it,
U.S.
so which puts me in a racist basket here. But I'm like, usually if it's not UK, America, or something else, which is commonly what does watch our channel, it's a situation that I just seen like there was a bunch of them running another short-term call center, and then I just seen where a bunch more. And so it's just a fair warning in the island of misfit expats here in the Philippines. A lot of them somehow just do immigration once or twice and they disappear. Like they don't ever renew their tourist visas. Like I told you guys a couple lives back that that British guy that came on our channel, the one hiding out and did the newspaper article and went to the UK running his mouth, still living here. They were looking for him. They actually called our actual house and they rung us up talking about they were looking for him and like, did we have his address? I'm like, why would I actually have his physical address? We contacted the ex-girlfriend and went through some stuff, but NBI and them were calling us over this guy. I said, go watch the live. He said a whole bunch of stuff.
Point being, you can't get away with it eventually.
Yeah, maybe a couple years back you could, but they are getting better and doing more hunting. More Filipinos are turning people in. And so I just seen another one where they caught a bunch more expats again. So not completing, yeah, they caught 8 foreigners, yeah.
Well, it's kind of like back
And
then. You can lie about your
Dioro,
resume back then.
and 2 Americans the other
You know what I
day.
mean?
Yeah,
But
eventually it's
eventually
going
it
to
catch us
catch
up.
up. The same with running these businesses. Um, yeah, it's, let me see. I'm going to mention it because let me see if I can find her. I was talking about, because I didn't have the strength to deal with it yesterday. A lot of people, let me see if I can find her channel. But it was, oh, I'll find it here in a minute. Basically, it was an expat that had a lot of issues. He's a long-term YouTuber, farmer in the Philippines, and that Terrence Flannery guy, him and his wife during a lot of these typhoons, allegedly there was them collecting money. They had built this resort. They were collecting money for different things. They just did a newspaper article totally praising them for giving out scholarships and giving people houses and all that. And years, all they did was complain about this couple, both of them, the farmer and the Philippine, and they're running businesses and everything else. So many people said allegedly they still don't have any of their papers. They never registered as a full business and the tax thing. Because I know one point a couple years back, I watched him where he discussed he was having a hard time getting the permits to be considered tax free. What is it that they try to do with the businesses here? He was going to be a charity, and he just couldn't get it done. And that was a few years ago. Now they've got him recently on Facebook in a newspaper talking about what a great couple and how they give all their money away and all this. But it was just a few years ago. This same expat couple, they said that they were just scamming everybody, taking in money. People told us that they gave them money and they built a resort and was renting them, but now all of a sudden they're giving it away as charity. So which is it? I mean, I'm kind of confused by this story, but it's on Facebook. It was really amazing that that even came up.
Yeah. Oh, and just real quick, this is a little off field too. Because this is kind of weird. Dennis Hunt says, George, how do you keep that black hair? First off, do I use hair dye? Rarely. In fact, I haven't used hair dye in probably 7 months, my guess.
Yeah, you've only done it like twice, and it's more the
Right.
coloring shampoo.
Well, we don't even use that.
Well, I'm just saying in the past.
What I'm saying is, do I have white hairs? Yes, I do. First off, you won't see any white hairs when I am on camera.
Yeah.
What I'm saying
No, I
is,
can see them up
right.
close.
Thank you. That's my point. I am on camera. What I'm saying is, if you're in person, you may hear strands of white hair. In fact, I picked literally a white hair probably 2 days ago, literally, which isn't that long ago, and not because I was trying to pick at it. It just so happens that the hair I pulled out was a white hair. What I'm saying is, do I have white hair? Yes. Do I dye it? Actually, I have dyed my hair, but it's kind of one of those. It's not that gray yet. It's not. Am I balding? Yes. In fact, if you look at my my hair is receding. I am old. I am bald. I am. In fact, my uncle borrowed my razor the other day, and he says you don't use it. I said, and he says you only, you know, trim your hair on the sides. I said, Uncle, I said, look at my hair. It's thin. I don't have to, buzz my hair. There's nothing there. It's because I said I only trim the sides because I don't have enough hair. Fact. It's not a big thing. It's not a big deal. Some of you have better hair genes than I do. But no, this is not from dyes.
Yeah, see, there he is.
Yeah.
The newspaper, there's the Flanagans, and these just a few years ago they were breaking 10 different rules of being here as expat or him, and now they've got him in the limelight of what a great expat he is and everything. And it's like it's really odd for me, speaking of misfits, but they got him in social media. He's got 300,000, but he only gets 400 views on his stuff, but they got him written out as a saint. But I guess people would say the same at some point about us. It's This couple is compassionate, kind. They're an inspiration from behold. They're giving out free houses and free education. Last I heard, they were collecting from their people on Facebook and doing weird stuff, allegedly. The kindness and generosity of this couple, Terrence and Beth Martin, who are touring Behold now to help families. They go around that have no stable housing and future, which requires major licensing, taxing, all this stuff to be done. They have gone viral on social media. Well, until they brought them up in the newspaper, nobody's talked about that couple forever. But of course, I guess they're just putting it out. And most of you probably don't even know who Terrence. For those that have been around and they're in the expat drama thing, they're one of the originals again with this farmer and the Philippine guy, where they say they collect money, they're running businesses without doing things. And it's where, like I said, it's part of the toxic expat thing. Everybody's in everybody's business. Oh, you ain't got this, you ain't got that visa, and you got the little cops around and everything all the time. But it says they've been giving out over 50 scholarships to students. They give them allowances. They've been giving them cell phones, laptops. It was just a couple years ago they were broke. They showed themselves broke in the house. We ain't got this. It's called dry begging. And all of a sudden they're giving out cell phones, laptops, printers, houses, scholarships. Anybody else aware of this until it arrived in the newspaper?
Of course not.
Yeah, this
They
is
don't. They
not
don't.
what
They don't get that information.
livelihood. They also have been giving animals out to people. In other words, they're giving out pigs and other items to raise them for livestock. In other words, this is more than I've heard until it came into this newspaper article. And then I was going to repost and talk about. I was like, it's just adding to the drama of the other expats that have covered him. What? Now what? I mean, he's just talking about covering it on another live stream. According to the couple, they just want to help people and that they can share their blessings with everybody. It's just odd. So the girl Carrie that we talk about that helps expats say, I want to be just like this expat couple. Until now, she didn't even know who they are. But like we said, you don't know who the backgrounds and all the different things. She wants to open up an entire. Oh, careful, you can't touch anything there. That whole setup, both of those plugs, every time you do that, you knock those out. You just touch.
It's not connected to anything. It really isn't.
Right.
See this?
Right, but a minute ago, if you touch those black wires, that's why the camera and the audio, for some reason, it's a brand new computer, but when the wires are touched, it messes. Yeah, sorry guys. But yeah, so anyways, that's what's going on.
Okay, Luke, just real quick, I kind of disagree with you, actually. Luke says, okay, um, again, I'm not picking on you, Luke. I mean, I understand this statement, and judging from your statement,
Hi, Victoria.
I don't know who you are or what you are. You could be an extremist, aka, now when I say extremist, whenever I hear something from a person, I have to listen to those things they say, whether they're extreme, aka, if you go one extreme side of one political party, just an example, one extreme side of one political party or the other opposite side, I don't know. But your statement kind of tells me you're either an extremist or you don't know. Luke says Filipinos are the first to snitch on a foreigner or not. So that statement tells me, okay, this is either an extreme foreigner or an extreme Filipino, because it's not your first statement is kind of like already extreme. Okay.
Yeah.
Second, okay, it's why I stay away from them. So that makes me tell me that you're actually an
All
extreme
Filipinos?
foreigner. See, even you're saying that.
Yeah, and
Okay,
I'm
what I'm
pretty
getting at
bitchy
is,
about
here's the
shit,
thing,
but
here's
I
the thing.
don't put everybody in the same basket. I may talk shit about them and
Thank
say
you.
it
You can't
happens,
put
but I'm not
everybody in
going to
the
not
same
talk
basket.
to my neighbor.
And what I'm getting at is, actually, there's a saying here in the Philippines, and this is why
It's other expats that are going to snap.
Thank you.
I'm going to tell on Heidi, and she's going to be thrown out of the country,
No, no,
and
no.
I've already done
This is
this
a
and
thing,
that.
Luke.
Since
This
the
is a
moment
thing,
I
Luke. Again,
entered
I
the
don't know
country,
you, but your
toxic
statement
expats have been
tells
my
me
problem,
that's
not toxic
what you
Filipinos.
are. That tells
and I
me
love to rag
you
on
are an
people.
American and you are an extremist. And again, I'm not picking at you. I'm just judging from your
Hi,
statement.
Victoria.
But here's the thing. There's a saying that Filipinos
Hey,
say,
Luke.
okay? Again, there's this Filipino saying is, well, in our language, this says, "Na mga kwa na kanita." It means, what do you have to gain with this? Okay, I'm just telling you
Yeah,
this.
he's been around
The
for
Filipinos,
a while.
I know that. But
Yeah.
what I'm saying is, I don't know him. He's been around for a while, but I still don't know him. But what I'm saying is, again, we have a saying. It's called "Na mga kwa na kanita," which means, I mean, I'm just telling to you how we say it. "Na mga kwa na kanita," which in English says, what, what do they have to get to? What do they have to gain from this? So what I'm saying is, before a Filipino makes a report, before a Filipino tells on Heidi, tells on me, tells on the cat,
Tell him the cat.
what is their motive? What do they gain from reporting you? Is there a reward? Do they gain a benefit from it? AKA, if you lose, let's say Heidi is working for a company, does she lose her job? When she loses her job, does she get a promotion? Filipinos don't just randomly, keyword randomly report you. No, they have to have a motive. It's kind of like in the U.S. What's the motive? You know, in any order, what's the motive? So what I'm saying is, by experience, through research and everything else, most of the time, the person that reports a Filipino is another Filipino. The person that reports an American is another American, or foreigner, as it were, or expat. So that's why I mean I disagree with you. However, here's a caveat. It goes back to rule number 1. What do they get from it? AKA, if there's something that they can get from you by reporting you, a Filipino can and will report on you. But that's no different than any American that they can and will get something out of you, will report you. Now, there's a third party, which means, or the third reason, they're just dicks. Now, here's the thing. Anybody who's been in the Philippines, and obviously you're in this channel, you're watching us right now. What I'm saying is, by default, people who watch this channel don't think Filipinos are dicks. Otherwise, why the hell would you move to a country filled with dicks? Yes? What I'm saying is, for example,
Hey, look, good morning.
I live in the U.S. I had a pit bull.
Hey,
Sweetest
slick.
pit bull ever. Rare sweet, never snipped at anybody, never did anything. But Animal Control Service got called on her. You know why? Because my dick neighbor, who doesn't own their property, they're just renting there. What do dogs do? Once in a blue moon, she stole her one flip flop and brought it over, and didn't chew on it, just brought it over. Called Animal Services on it. I'm like, are you freaking kidding me? Because my dog decided to grab one of yours. That's called a dick. That's called a dick move, calling Animal Services.
Karen and
so,
Dick.
Again, 3 reasons. 1, the first reason is they have something to gain. 2, it's because they just don't like you because of, and then 3, because they're just dicks. I get it. Those are the 3 reasons. But again, Luke, I'm not picking on you, but Filipinos are the first to snitch on any foreigner out. Completely false. A lot of Filipinos Obviously, you don't talk to Filipinos enough to know this is not fact.
Hey, that is.
Fact. No, true story.
That is
It's not
said,
fact.
there are laws, but officially nothing gets settled. From one major crime committed to another, yeah, just covered by another narrative. Yeah, I just
Right,
think
that's
there's
another
a lot
thing. The
of
narrative. A lot of forums, which again, please don't go on the internet. Please don't go on Facebook. Please don't go on forum because a lot of it is bullshit.
especially these days, most everything's
A
getting to be
lot of
AI.
lies, especially from foreigners. What I'm saying is, a lot of foreigners will say, "Oh, you did this because they're racist, they're Filipino."
And then if they
No,
don't, they'll make a story up
that's
to add to your
correct.
story.
Thank you.
Like right
They're
now, it
adding to
doesn't
the
matter
narrative.
what it
Thank you.
is. They will put stuff out there that may be true about us, but now they just twist every narrative in every
Well,
direction.
that's the thing.
It's just
The
a
most
mess.
biggest ones that
The
again.
internet is not helping any.
Here's the thing, and I tell this to anybody.
It allows toxic people to
In
be
any
more
fight,
toxic.
in any
It
fight,
breeds toxicity.
here's a fact. Here's a fact. You guys don't have to listen to me, but you guys have probably experienced this. You guys have friends, right? I'm saying just an example.
We're glitching really bad.
Okay, you guys have friends, right? And in between your friends, that could be just a monitor. Oh wait, no, it is. It is the thing.
The other day, it cut a section of.
No, I know. I'm trying to fix it. There. No, I'm trying to fix it. It's probably okay. So what I'm getting at is when, or rather, let's do it this way. If whoa, oh wait, this is lag. No, it's that's lag.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah. No, it should be fine now.
I believe it's a streaming software. The
Okay,
other day
so
it was
what I'm
glitching.
getting at is you guys have friends and you guys have friends that fought. What I'm getting at is, and the by observation, by experience, and I'm sure you guys have realized this, the person who does the most mudslinging is the dirtiest one. The one that usually doesn't say anything is usually the cleaner one. And I'm not trying to pinpoint this on any particular person or political party. Again, this is not about it. I'm just talking about human behavior. There's a saying that the person who slings the most mud is the dirtiest because that's where do you think the mud comes from?
Okay.
Does that make sense, guys?
I already knew that. So
Right. What I'm saying
dirtier.
is the person who points the finger, thief, 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 is the thief.
Yeah, we talked about
This
the
is normal
dark
human.
vloggers here. They
Right.
had
This
their
is
own
normal human
issues.
reaction. What I'm saying is
You're pointing the finger at us in general that I'm fat and I'm sick and crazy
to get
and
the attention
criminal.
away from you.
Correct. They're
And what I'm
already all
getting
the
at
above.
is, this is still on the same what Lou was saying. Is
For the most part.
that Filipinos are the first to, snitch on the no. It's other foreigners snitching on their foreigners.
Yep. It's hard to find a good YouTube channel now. Just most of them are lowering their standards, trying to get views. Yeah, they do crazier stuff, use sex as their main magnet, or the dating, or they put cameras still on the Filipinos and all these other. But I said Filipinos have turned their own people out too. But for the most part, yeah, when it comes down to the YouTubers, it just gets to be, But everybody is vlogging, that is for sure. Hey, RCDM said, hit that like button. Got a great group in here today. Yeah, be sure to subscribe and do your thing. That is said Panda Cell Day. Is it really Panda Cell Day? Are you guys speaking of the real meaning of misfits? That's me. At time and contrary to how I come across to certain people. Yeah, just in general, just talking about, we've discussed that a lot of us are broken when we get here. I'll even include myself. Several medical conditions, high anxiety, not everybody has themselves together, but it's how you transform. Like a lot of people don't. They still come here super toxic. They sit on the internet picking on people. Oh, yeah, we showed this last year, our Rudolph thing. It played the song, first song, because there's 3 or 4 songs. I'm just a misfit. Yeah, we brought that from America. That's
Yeah,
really cute.
just real quick again, for those of you who are new to the channel or those who are not familiar with Philippine culture, once it hits the Burr months, it's Christmas.
Yeah, that's why we're, yeah. But in general, they don't change anything. They come here and a lot of expats that go into other countries, Germany, and they retire in France or even Mexico or other places. It's just weird how when they get here, they seem to have all the toxic energy of a fucking snail, man. And I don't get it. And I don't get it. I get the boredom. Do your YouTube channel, do your thing. But I just don't get it. Christmas tree in October. Yeah, no passport. It's the Philippines. Evidently, you don't get the Philippines at all. So, yes, it's weird. That tells you that the person knows nothing about the Philippines or knows anything about just
It's
randomly.
a Philippine culture thing.
It is the Burr months. It is Christmas time in the Philippines, and people are putting shit up. Aren't they already in America putting stuff up even before Halloween? Some are still.
Well,
Some
back
of the
then there
malls
was this rule that you don't put Christmas stuff up until
after
after
Thanksgiving.
Thanksgiving, but
Yeah,
they don't follow that anymore.
yeah, they're selling stuff and
But no, they had the Christmas
Hey.
decors officially. I said officially because the government is the one that puts them up. When did I say? June, July, August, September 19th. September 19th they put them up here anyway.
Yeah. No, Thomas, do you think the crackdown on foreigners is a result of the nuisance streamers in the Philippines? Okay, first off, it wasn't nuisance streamers. I mean, I know they're talking about that British guy, but I don't think the crackdown he's asking separately is it the crackdown on foreigners or because of Vitelli that caused the down slam of
Not particularly.
No, I don't think it, and it didn't change anything. Them putting out a rule that already existed. Don't put cameras. They're still doing it. They still do live streams in public.
None of these are new rules.
Nope. So it didn't change anything, and the crackdown has nothing to do with that because there is still a portion that aren't vloggers. At least half of them coming in are not vloggers these days. They'll record stuff when they're out in public, but no, I don't think there were that many big ones coming in or, that were just coming in to just do that and leave. So, nope, don't think that's part of it either. Hey, what's going on? Black Grandma. My Pinoy just put up the Christmas tree. Yeah, I think officially a few weeks ago on the little one. So, hey, Dennis, he's watching from Tucson, Arizona. Second one was talking about wash the gray right out of your hair. You're gonna wash that gray right out of my hair. Yeah. You missed the heyday of Boss Hogg and Terry and Beth pulling their scams. Yeah, when we got here 5 years ago. That's all Andy and a bunch of others and the ones that literally dug into these people, and it was their whole channels. That's all we heard of was Terrence. Somebody asked recently, and then I about shit a brick when I seen that this newspaper article just covered them as angels, and I was like, wait a minute. I thought that he was struggling and told everybody he was struggling financially and that they were always having hard times, and now he's giving all this stuff away. When did this all happen? So did he lie to this newspaper? Is he running this without the licensing? Did he finally get it? But here's the thing. Expats are outright brazen because they'll still do it and still not have the licensing. You know how many of them are running restaurants or vending carts fully selling things when their neighbor Filipino can't sell nothing and they're not licensed properly and all this other stuff. But yeah, it said Terrence Flannery moved on $750 a month. Yeah. According to a video I just watched, because after I seen that, I went and looked at someone's video. He claims he was some big writer and speech person, and he's got 3 or 4 pensions he's living on right now, and that he's got a ton of money. And I'm like, well, which is it, guys? So, but that could be all the misinformation on the internet because people put it all out on us. It's, it's hard saying anymore. But yeah, I remember all that. It's a Philippine thing. Oh yeah, Victoria was talking about, yeah, Christmas thing. Yeah, it's definitely a Filipino. And I definitely got used to it. Why not? So, and I like to mess with people. I like to get their goat. I probably wouldn't have put up the tree until November. Definitely after Thanksgiving as an American, we did it in the U.S. when me and George. But now it's just like, hey, everybody else is out here doing Christmas. You'd almost feel odd not doing it. Curtis said, my sister Filipino husband has a woman come back
That's
and
a bad
pluck
deal.
his
That's
white
a bad
hair.
deal.
Oh, the tweezer thing?
Well, you're not really supposed to pull white hair. I know it's hard to resist, but you're really not supposed to.
According to Curtis, he said Terry and Beth mainly gave houses and goods to a family member. Okay. Yeah, according to them, they said 50 people got scholarships and
Okay,
it seems like
now,
a big list of stuff.
just real quick, again, not picking on any particular vlogger or whatever they are. Again, I'm not judging because first off, family should always come first. The reason why I say this is it doesn't matter whether they're Filipinos or Americans, because Americans do this too. A lot of times when vloggers give away goods, services, or whatever they give away on YouTube, specifically they have it on camera on YouTube, I would say 80% of the time it's to family members or friends, aka it's really not giving back to the community, it's giving back to your family, which again, I'm not judging. There's nothing wrong with that because
Well, there is if they did what everybody said. They took a bunch of money from people saying it was
I
going
get
to these
that,
things.
but what I'm saying is I understand. I'm not saying I condone it, and I'm not saying, but what I'm saying is pay attention to these videos because before we even started this YouTube channel, I already knew, just simple observation, if you pay attention to these vloggers that give away stuff to strangers, somehow these strangers are the same people. So again, that's fine. What I'm saying is that's up to you guys how you guys want to take that in. But no, that's a common thing, unfortunately. Americans do it too.
Yeah. Sarah was just saying excess stress causes hair to fall out. Well, he'd be bald if that was true because of me.
Well,
But some of it is hereditary. Men
part
balding.
of the
is,
reason, well, actually, she says something more than that.
that's the reversible face hand purple thing, George. That's not anything additional. Right here it is. It's reversible. But the rest of it is
Yeah,
because
well,
of the weird thing not showing up.
well, depending on your age, and most of it won't grow back, and that's why there's something called in the service in the U.S. called keeps. It's not called keeps because you can grow it back, because a lot of times in an advanced stage in age, once you lose your hair, it's forever. So that's why the title is called keeps, is because you get to keep what you have left. So
Yeah.
that's why I said it's not a good idea to pluck out those white hairs, because that white hair may be white, but guess what? You can dye it and you still have your hair, versus you plucking it and it'll never grow back.
Yeah. Speaking of helping the community, what type of medications do you keep on hand to care for your feline crew? We have a little bucket of to-go stuff. So basically,
It's not a little bucket, it's actually a big box.
well, it's got cotton balls.
No,
It's a
no, no.
box about
I
this
know,
big.
but people take things literal online.
Yeah. So right now, it depends on what the vet gives. Right now, a few of them have upper respiratory issues. And initially started with one of them, Geo, that kept getting outside. Finally, we have refused to let him back outside. His brother had passed away from an upper respiratory issue, and then it just kind of went down the line no matter how you clean. So antibiotics, we keep a electrolyte powder that has all the vitamins in it. We put it in their water. There is a glucose powder, like when they're sick and they're not moving. the basics. They've got flea oil, flea pills. There are like 3 different creams that go on their ears. Yeah, that's it. So yeah, it's got everything in there, Q-tips, everything, but it's got worming pills. There is pills. Everything's in there. So any type of medicine, we keep it stocked, and we have Silverdane. In other words, one of the cats that live outside that are not ours, but we care for the ones that we can. Bottom of his foot was cut. I sprayed it on there. Basically, it's just water and silver or something. So it's called Silverdane or something.
Yeah.
But yeah, so we keep it pretty stocked. Oh, Sarah said she didn't put the emoji on there. Usually there's no reward for snitching. No, they do it out. It is jealousy or mad, or it's true. These expats are, some of them can be vicious. They drink, they smoke, they cheat, they're nasty, they deserve to be reported. That's, if you want to ask my honest opinion, most of them deserve it. Hell, on days that I give George a hard time, I'm like, yep,
Well,
I
you have to
probably deserve
remember
it if
too,
it
it
made
could
me
also
leave.
be an ex.
Yeah, but
But now, what I'm saying is, for example, just an example, not that this will ever happen. For example, let's say my ex sees me with Heidi. She's jealous. She'll report on Heidi, that kind of deal. What I'm getting at too, but here's the thing, again, by experience and by research, most of the time, usually out of the horse's mouth, aka the expats, that they'll tell you,
hey, Laura's in the
my
house.
girlfriend that I just broke up with is the one that reported me. Most of the time, that's the major reason why they got reported on.
Yeah, DeFons is in the house. I get to him, and he said the reason they snitch is crab mentality, which they're famous for. But I'd also would like to say that the actual, a lot of the expats can be nasty too. That is the truth.
Yeah, but most of the time, like I said, out of the horse's mouth, usually it's the girlfriend that the expat just broke up with. Which again, then they have a motive. What I'm saying is, most of the time, it's, again, I'm not judging anybody. Whoever has a Filipino partner right now, or it doesn't matter whether they're American, Australian partner, doesn't matter. By speaking from experience, again, if you have a partner and you broke up with them, they'll probably, if they can do something, they'll do something about it. If that makes any sense, doesn't matter, how good you are, how clean you are, they'll make up something.
Thomas said, remember, George used to work with people, manage people at a mushroom farm, because you did mention that out loud. And it says, your shit. That's pretty much what they grow them in, so.
No, it's fact.
It's fact.
It's fact.
But I agree, George, you make a good point. He does a lot, and he does go into details, which he's very good about. And like he says, he doesn't, I'll Google shit like I'll get out, because shit, some days I'm just dumber than a box of rocks, and I admit it. And so, or my mind just goes left, and I'm like, no, let me check a factor. Instead of spewing beyond all not known things, I will go to the websites or look, or read a book or do something to find the information. So, but I do, sometimes I got to check what I say. Let's see. And Laura is in the house. Hey,
Laura, how you doing?
Laura. 1 second.
That's awfully specific, right?
Yeah.
I mean, not for us, obviously.
No, it could be. When the guy goes to deliver, he does just honk like that. Yeah, it is.
It is? Where is it?
Right there.
What is that?
Delivery.
But that's not in.
It is.
It is.
1 second.
It's already paid for?
Yeah, you see, look, directly. It might be. That depends. I do have 1 or 2 items.
Bayad na?
Hold on.
Oh.
Yeah, that's weird on the deliveries. Sometimes we've officially had the 3rd driver for the year for a while. For like 2 years in a row, we had the same drivers. And yeah, It's weird. And now the other day he came at 6 o'clock at night, and then now he's coming at 9 in the morning. So kind of odd. So yeah, crab mentality prevails in the Philippines. I think it's everywhere now. To be honest, we were watching TikToks about the food stamp thing where all the people are complaining, which is a whole nother situation. I was talking about, oh, gotcha.
When I say the kids, it's for the pets.
You sure?
Yeah, it says pet foods and pet something. That's what the labels say.
Oh,
So
but yeah, we ordered the Willie's dog food.
yeah, that's
is in there.
the food, and this is something pet something.
Should be.
It says pet something.
Weird. But anyways, I think crab mentality is on all social media. It's how they're getting. Have you guys seen this new rage stuff on TikTok, Instagram, and now YouTube shorts or videos? Like that is the thing to do, is to go into such a full rage unnaturally. I don't think these people are like this normally. And they just rage about everything and their mentality. Like I watched a woman talk about somebody's fashion at a show recently about what she wore, one of the Kardashians, at a birthday party, and complained the others were wearing t-shirts and jeans and looking like crap. And the girl, her makeup wasn't right. Her clothes weren't even right on the tick. And she's giving fashion advice. And she's just raging on with her mentality of how the others look like crap. We all do it. I'm guilty of saying, oh my God, this person's this. But some of the, I've heard since I've been here of how there's so much crab mentality. But I think, like George said, they misspeak what it really means as far as crab mentality. You go ahead and talk. I see you.
No, I'm just
okay.
laughing at Victoria. Victoria says,
Wow, that
George,
came
that's
quick.
that's what we call a wanker, or as Victoria also
Yeah.
in her language is that's what we call a bellend.
Okay.
I
Yeah,
mean, I forgot that wanker. Yeah, is a word. Yeah.
Yeah, it's the flea pills. So that's what's going on. My problem is why they put it in that box. Yeah, they put it in the wrong box. It was kind of odd. And oddly, I think, yeah, there it is. I was going to say I ordered 6. It's their flea pills. That came quick. That was in one day, which is weird. When you order something from Manila, it doesn't always.
Okay, RCDM. This is actually very important. RCDM says we know we have the proper visas to volunteer. That does not. What I'm saying is that's
Oh, here it
great
is.
but what I'm saying is that doesn't encompass everything.
Yeah, you got to make sure,
right.
depending on, because it does depend on what they're volunteering for.
Correct. And,
so, like
and
me,
help the community. What
you have to
are
check.
some ways foreigners can volunteer? Is it best to discuss it with the barangay captain?
That is probably the best.
See,
We can't
the first
even give
thing,
advice.
depending on your volunteering and what your services are involved, it may involve licensing from the DSWD.
Right. So if you're collecting tents and getting money from people to go
Correct.
help and set up for this, whatever, there's a level of taking food out
Right.
there just randomly.
It depends on the level.
But if you're on YouTube, which is where we're talking, most of them are,
like
they're taking in money.
Yes.
They were buying tents and everything else and buying things that they, and in the end, some of them had to get the permits. They gave them a hard time.
So, right, no, that's exactly correct. Like,
Well, I believe if I discuss going up to some of these orphanages and doing time, at that time, that's a whole separate thing. You may need more than that to go up there.
Well, that's what I was saying. That's volunteering. So what I'm saying is there's different. It's different if you're volunteering. It's different if you're setting up, or rather, you're doing it on your own. If you're, because the wording you use is volunteering. If you're volunteering, if you're under the umbrella of a company, just an example, I'm not saying.
Yeah, it says here, if you're going to do any volunteering, what's just considered volunteering and going in and you're doing that, if you're not doing it under the table, which honestly, I keep saying, who's really following the rules here? It does say that you need a special non-immigrant visa and for long-term volunteer work. There are
Right.
specifics for everything.
Right.
So technically, if you are legally, you're supposed to get it. Do
Correct.
people really go through that? Then there's all these subcategories. All I can say from now on, and I agree with another channel, you need to get your tax information, the volunteer stuff from those bureaus. We don't, over the years, we've been told, oh, this isn't right, that's not right on that. We kind of slowed down on
'Cause-
giving that information.
And again,
but
hashtag
it says
cancel.
here you need the right
Right.
thing.
And
here.
again, hashtag cancel George. Again, I'm not a lawyer, but
There is a whole
I know
department
rules
on volunteering and organizations.
as far as concerned. Keep in mind that work may not be work. What I'm getting at is, it doesn't mean that you're on a payroll that you get paid. However,
I mean, what visa do you have?
right, and that doesn't mean that exempts you from not filing or such and such and such. It depends on what Heidi's specifically talking about.
For short-term volunteers, you can enter on a tourist visa, but you still have to acquire a permit.
Right.
Or a long-term visa to actually do these.
Right. That's
So,
it's a loaded question.
But if you're doing it under the table, but
there's
you're
not
specifically
one-
saying you have the proper visa.
Well,
Is that the visa you have?
That's why I said he or she may have the proper visa, but that doesn't cover them. That's just entry. That doesn't mean able to work, but that doesn't cover your certifications.
Well, there is a specific
your
Yeah.
right. Your
Right.
filings,
There's
all that weird
a
stuff.
bunch of it involved, yes,
Right.
than just one. But always check it out yourself. Believe me, whether what country you're from, exactly what you're doing in the volunteering, how you're volunteering. If you're just walking in and working for a church or something and you're doing all that, some people just do it under the table and just do it 1 hour a
Right,
day
and
or
some-
something.
Some
But the rest, if it's hardcore and it's what you're doing the whole time,
right, and some volunteer organizations, go into foreign countries. I'm not naming a particular company, but I know they do this. Is all you have to do is apply in the end, and they'll pay for your visa and everything, and then they'll, boom, you're done. But what I'm saying is,
that's
a lot of them
hot
are
step
not
over.
as easy as that. But keep in mind that organization I was referring to specifically is not legal either.
Yeah.
But point being is, be careful. Be careful. It doesn't mean that you mean well, that you're gonna do things.
Stop
in your
listening
heart,
to other
right?
fucking
Correct.
YouTube channels. That's what's
CYA,
really going on.
CYA.
I collect money. I give stuff away. And you keep seeing Filipino and expat channels that have
Right.
been collecting stuff, going out volunteering, and that. And there's a level of giving 1 or 2 items away or entire truckloads of
Charity
stuff.
is not that simple. I'd hate to
And
say
if you
this,
see
it
him
should
doing
be,
them,
but it's not.
And
It
just
really is
because
not.
Filipinos are out doing it, I
Right.
wouldn't exactly follow that, because you may get snitched on. So you have to be careful.
Yeah.
Careful, George, when you dig for the past, you only get dirty. That is true. I don't think that was directed at you, but who knows? Not really. I mean, that's just it. So I'm trying to.
No. He's saying the mudsling.
Yeah, that's what I was saying.
That's
you were talking
that's what
about.
I said.
Yeah.
The ones that sling mud are usually the ones that are dirty.
Well, that's what I was going to go
Yeah.
through and say, is that, it's
Correct.
usually true. Usually, and especially the ones here lately, the more these other channels were digging on other channels, then more stuff comes up, then they dig in, and then it's just like,
Yeah.
the dogs are all barking. Beautiful day in Cavite. Yeah. Sax. Oh, she's just respelling. Yeah, sex cells. Replace it with E, right?
Right.
Blessing the parent mountain's home. Wife made me real. Definitely a lively crew today. Don't take it the wrong way. Watched a stream from 3 years ago. You guys seemed happier. Weirdly,
Isn't that the same comment?
that's when he made that same comment on the other video. That's a permanent thing. That wasn't in our live stream. I read that to you off our comments
No, that's what I
yesterday.
mean.
Yeah, it's the
that's
same comment from, yeah, the same comment you put on the channel. You're saying out loud. So would you like to elaborate on it? Because I don't get where I was saying back then. I thought we were more grumpier than, I don't know. Yeah, I'll elaborate on that, please. Please do. Because I don't get it. It is what it is. A lot of these YouTubers who got, one second before I read this. What it probably appears to be is back then we were still honeymooning, or I was getting to learn the Philippines, and we were always out doing things. We settled into our everyday life, and yeah, I mean, it seemed we joked around a lot more and we didn't get into the nitty gritty. But I think George has about had enough shit too. You notice he's spicy a little bit more lately, so I wouldn't say it's anything about being happier. It's really a lot of the YouTubers who got used to making income from YouTube realize income is falling off the cliff. It's beyond falling off the cliff, and the views. So we just were discussing that. Our last 5 only got 800, and we're still doing the same shit, the same stock, the same hours.
It's not just us. Like I showed,
yeah, a lot of
my
channels
friends
are
and
losing.
my family, like Heidi
Yeah, big
too.
time.
I shared a video to them that there's this big YouTuber has over 14 million subs, and they're not making money anymore.
No, like
They
zero.
literally
They're
said
getting
it,
a lot of
like,
numbers, and they're still not
You
getting
know,
paid.
look at my views. They're in millions, and I only made $10.
hmm So it depends on how long, where from. The longer you're in the Philippines, and they're going to feed these original channels. We always get these side channels that got 3,000-4,000 subscribers. Oh, we get more in Philippine antics, and they're bragging about. Yeah, they feed every monkey in the beginning those bananas. They give them 2.5 thousand, 3.4 thousand. They're pushing your algorithm when you first get in the first year or two. And then after that, it dropped off. So it's a pay to play game, or you're going to have to farm them. I talked about the last time. And it's, if you're in it for the money, forget about it. So it's, you have to do it because you're trying to help or because you like it. Like us, it's one of our side projects. It's never been, as some, there are people that rely on it. And then I said the other part are just narcissistic. It's just outright, they want to be seen. It's a look at me, look what's got going on. But I think it's oversaturated now. I think all social media is oversaturated. So there's a zillion on. Now it's just one big chat room with everybody. In other words, it's the way people are communicating. It's not always about the money. Is there money? Yes, sure there is. But don't do it for the money. Having the blessing for the parents' new mountain home.
Real lasagna, that's what he's saying.
My wife made me a real lasagna and garlic bread. Oh, wow, to eat while she was up. My knees won't do the 2-hour hike. Oh, yeah, I hear you, man. Slick Rick was just saying hi. 1 second. Hi to Laura, because they're in California. Raymond says, it's strange for me to see Christmas stuff and songs in the malls. Yeah, September 1, they ain't even playing around. And we've had carolers several times since. It's kind of just crazy. So, second one, go sit down somewhere. If I sell my body, do I need a license? You sure do. You need to at least get checked out for cooties and head lice before you start doing that, dude. I need another income. Coconut sales only bring in 500 every few months, the 500 pesos. Yeah, we're going to have to get you checked out. George is watching a different show over in the corner.
No, it's this one that we're talking about.
Oh, yeah.
No, I'm reading the comments over here.
Yeah.
For those of you wondering.
Yeah, because we used to have the laptop and that, and after we switched the computer out, there's not 2 screens on the desk table here.
Yeah, it's not a laptop anymore.
Yeah, he's using the tablet.
There's a tower in front, well, the CPU over here. And obviously there's not a screen on it. So
Sarah's like, I'm older than dirt. I hear you. My damn hair, I think a lot of my realities are bald. Even my brother has, and I know it's hereditary. I have a brother that's going bald. My oldest brother is, and my dad and his dad. and either they're all majorly stressed out, but isn't hair loss hereditary
Yes,
within
it's from the mother's
cultures?
side.
And is it? Yeah. So
Yes,
it's
hair loss is from the mother's side.
from the mother's side.
Yes.
So how come all my dad's kids, two of them have different fathers?
Okay, well, okay.
And
All right, just real quick.
my mom
Long
has
story
hair.
short, why do women, when you say it's mother's side, my mom always had long hair? Yes, because your mom doesn't have testosterone. What the major cause of hair loss is testosterone with the genes of your mother's side, aka your mother may not be bald, but she has thinning hair. But what causes actual hair loss is the testosterone. Since your mother is not female, she doesn't have testosterone. The end. I'm just trying to make things really simple here, guys.
Testosterone.
Yes, yeah, but then that tells me that your family side,
Is all messed up.
they always have thick hair. That means you have good hair genes.
Gotcha.
You know what I'm saying? And honestly, now that I recall my mom's side, only one of the females I know had thick hair. But remember, genes is a crapshoot. I'm not saying they all have.
Right? I got good hair, but a funky body, man.
Well, what I'm saying is, it doesn't mean that
Bad organs.
one of them have that trait, that they all have that trait. You get my point? Right.
Curtis says, guess I got lucky. My mom's 95 now and still has her pure black hair. I'm blonde, but got her genes. That's like
Right.
my grandmother had, before she passed away, had thick hair on the one side of the family on my dad's side, but her hair was pretty dark for a long time. So
Yeah, no testosterone is what causes
but I
that.
have sisters where the roots of their hair, I have a sister that's a couple years older than me. You can see the gray growing in. Mine doesn't do. Mine's like George. If you guys get up on close, you can see. Now, I have colored my hair over the years. I don't do it on a monthly to hide the ones that are in there probably twice a year, probably right now. But you can see them long wise just running through like yours. I can see them all on the side. If you get up on us, you can see them.
No,
But
and
my other sister, you
and
can see it
actually,
growing from the
in the
roots.
sunlight right now, if I go like this, you can see my scalp if it's in the sunlight. But since you're in this camera, you won't. So no, this is not from dye. No, it's not. It's
If
just
an astronaut can drive across the country with a diaper on because she is jealous, beware. Yeah, a scorned
Oh,
woman
no,
can calculate.
no.
Yeah, I mean, no,
Oh,
there's
no.
some that are just, yeah.
And again, most of the time when an expat gets reported on, it's their exes.
Oh, we know, Thomas. Thomas said he was just making a joke about
Oh,
the
it's not a big
mushroom
deal.
farm.
I mean,
Yeah.
first off, it's not a big deal. Second off, it's not an amazing career. It was a really good paying career, but I hated it.
Yeah.
That's why I don't.
That's like me working at the chicken
I quit
plant.
there, but no, I hated it. It
I
paid
hated
insane.
the chicken plant. It was the only
It paid
job
insane,
out
but I
in the
hated it.
Ozarks. I was telling George that I'm going to get on a controversial topic here for a minute. I started talking about the food stamp issue and people bitching on TikTok and everything. And I told him, I said, there was one time I was on food stamps when I first moved out to the Ozarks and I had no longer was working my neurological nursing career. And when I went out to the Ozarks with the kids, I had the car and had some savings. The rent was dirt cheap out there when I was living in Missouri and went out to the Ozarks, but there were no jobs. For several months, we tried like the jobs when you go and work at the grocery store, whatever. There's only 2 or 3 jobs that were there, and that was given to people who lived there and been there for 40, 50 years. They're not going to give it to strangers out in the country like that. So look, both me and my ex-husband were looking. We ended up doing 2 split shifts. I would do one 12-hour in the daytime. In other words, he'd work at the night one and I would do the early AM one. And I hated that chicken plant. But for a short period, I was on those food stamps. I'm telling you, I'm going to let you know. I'm keeping it real. And it was for a short period because back then, it was back in the 90s. You had to go get the books or something. It was books, not cards. And you had to have a job or looking for a job in order to get them in certain states. And so when I see all this stuff going on about the food stamps, it just like enrages me, the people with 8, 9 kids and stuff that are talking about, oh my God, my food stamps are going to disappear when they should have had a limit on the kids. But who's going to hurt in that situation is the elderly and the disabled, the ones that can't absolutely get jobs and that are only getting a crappy $80 or $90 a month. That $90 could mean them starving during that month. It really is bad. So, staying on the outside of politics, I've watched probably 50 people talking about, oh, I'm going to rob a Walmart. I'm going to go in and do this, and I'm going to do that, and I'm going to beat the shit out of somebody. We couldn't believe that.
She's talking about now,
There's women on the internet, and I'm like, wait a minute, why aren't they shutting their channels down? They're on welfare, food stamps, and payments each month, and they admit they have no jobs, but they're up on social media threatening to rob stores now. And I'm like, not only is that inciting robberies and riots and go get it, I don't know how, when they're not supposed to be on there at all, that they are. So, hi, Mary. So, yeah, there's been a lot of crazy shit on there, man.
Yeah, no.
And bitches need to go sit down somewhere. They should be actively looking for work. You can't, a lot of them got so used to it, generational, in the housing authorities and the Section 8s and all that. It's their grandmothers, their mother. And there was a grandmother on social media that said she had her own kids and grandchildren, also 7 or 8 of them. And they're screaming and cussing people out in the welfare office. I'm like, how are you doing that either? They're just working there. If the federal government cuts you off, they cut them off.
Well, and okay, not trying to be political, but this is my own opinion. Whether or not Heidi agrees with me, which I think she does.
And there's no social welfare here. There's some, but we're talking very little.
Not really. So what I'm saying is,
well, they can. When I say that, there's a form of it when it comes to the disasters and
but not really. I just said, like, for example, their emergency.
They do have some COVID. Nursing home things. There are some very little programs.
But I did tell you, like
a half a
for those of you who watched last time, I told them what the COVID relief was. But anyway, which again, what I'm getting at is,
yes, deworm him.
Yeah, deworm him. Yeah, but.
Sorry. You were talking about the COVID, the natural disasters.
Well, that's what I was saying before. But yeah, no. The thing is again, this is my own opinion. You guys can hate me again. #CastleGeorge.
Got any donuts in them?
Well, first off, I told Heidi again before the live. I said, my experience with Section 8, every Section 8 location I've driven by, they all have freaking escalators, which is fine. That's not a jealousy thing. It just tells me that they're using the money for the wrong reasons.
Oh, yeah.
Also, another thing that also I have is, if you have to rely on government funding to raise your child, you should not have a child.
Yeah, it's crazy. And they continue to have 3 and 4 more on them. And they've been bragging on social media time after time.
Exactly.
Whole YouTube channels. The women are showing their pregnancies, and I'm getting this much in assistance, and I'm this. And the other one was crying, oh, well, my baby daddy, he won't pay, so don't be mad at me because he won't pay. And they're blaming everybody else. It's like, take some it just seems like the new generations, last
I wouldn't
two.
say new generation, because this has gone going since I've known.
Yeah, I'm just saying.
Since I've been
take
there
some responsibilities.
in the US, I've always known.
Not everybody's the same. You can't put them in the same boat. But there's a limit to not only are they threatening, not only are they running social media platforms and getting paid well on them, then they're turning around and showing how they're cooking all this junk food, and
correct.
It's crazy. And they're not even paying for it.
Not only are they showing that they're on welfare and abusing the system, they're showing you how to abuse the system.
Yeah, that's another thing. They talked about that.
So no, I hate to say this, it's one of those, because of these bad people, the innocent people are getting affected, the ones that do really need it.
Yeah, Curtis said, as a boxing coach for the municipality, I refused a salary so no one gets jealous. And there are ways of getting around with the volunteering, and you're not being paid. And there are ways. Each person just has to find what's right for them.
You can say, I want to get paid in chicken, so they'll pay in chicken. I'm not even joking.
Unless you're in Australia.
A lot of times when you do volunteer
Remember, they
work,
got pretty serious on
they
work.
Give you
People giving people rides was considered work.
Potatoes, oh, thank you so much. Here's your sack of potatoes. I'm not making this up. This is a real thing.
Well, even the guys at the
old
orphanage
barter trade,
are in trouble.
still exists here. Oh well, yeah, no, that's
Interesting, Thomas. Where are you from? You'd ask what a barangay. That's what a barangay captain is. So I
Well,
take it.
barangay is from the old system, and it still exists here. Yes. I guess the equivalent, if you're from the Britons, is council. The council is the barangay, and the barangay captain's the council head. Oh, not for us.
Well, I probably could have told you there's only like one delivery.
Yeah. So yeah. Well, okay. The 4 barrios and more can make up a barangay, and then barangays, a conglomerate of barangays make a town, and a conglomerate of towns make a city. That's how it works. It's a small form of government. As they call it here, officially they're called the local. A barangay is called an LGU, a local government unit, and therefore a barangay captain is the president of. Well,
Yeah, kind of like if you're in the UK, we were talking about there
the
are
council head,
councils and different
Barangay is a
areas.
council.
It's just little
Yeah.
cities inside of cities. They do it in a
Yeah,
lot of
there's
foreign
no
countries.
American equivalent. So
Yeah, so like I'll give you an idea. We're in Mavalacat City. There are I don't know the exact number. I'm just giving you an idea. Let's say
there's
there
a
are
lot. Locandula,
30,
Camachiles,
40 different sections
Panday
inside the city.
Pira,
Right.
Yeah, no.
And then each one of them have somebody that's over. Before you run off to the police, you're supposed to go
If
to
you call
them.
the police,
It's like a
unless it's
tribal-
actual criminal, they'll tell you have to go to your barangay captain.
And sometimes if it is criminal and it's not fire and something
Well,
else, you're
okay.
supposed to
Unless it's a felony, the police will not get involved.
pretty much. And it could be that somebody ended up dead and they're still going to say, go to him, and then he's going to
No,
contact.
no. If it's a felony.
I'm joking. But yes, you can call 911 direct. But overall, yes, you
Oh,
start
they have
with
that on ads now. 911 on the billboards.
Oh, yeah.
911, yeah. But no. Yeah, barangay is council, or 4 barrios or more makes a barangay, and then
To me, if you're us, this it's not country level. It's more
County,
like county. Okay, sorry, I missed the county.
Yeah, see, yeah.
Have no idea. SSRVs, I believe, are allowed to work. 13As are allowed to work. So I think even though, according to that, even though you're allowed to work, I think volunteering is still a permit. You have to find which is required for whatever you're asking. If you're going full-time or part-time into an orphanage to volunteer your time, I don't think they're saying that a work permit that's with
that's
is
the thing.
permitted. I think volunteering is a whole different
It's
permit.
not right. Well, that's what I'm saying. It's the visa, and what I'm saying is whatever you're going in for may or may not be involving your visa, and that's what I was getting at.
Yeah. Okay. No, I'm just saying. I'm letting him know that they are allowed to work, but it doesn't necessarily mean
It may or
that
may
type
not.
of permit. It may
hard.
require a permit on top of that.
Yeah.
You're allowed to work on that, and you're allowed to work on the 13A.
Yeah, it's a loaded question. It's too many answers because there is no one.
Some do.
Because, like I said, you can go to an organization.
It's like the U.S. There's all kinds of rules
That's what I said.
on you'd be
You can
doing
go to
the
an
same thing as
organization
a
and they'll
foreigner.
take care of everything. They'll take care of your visa.
Foreigners
they'll take care of your certifications. They'll take care of everything.
And it will change
some will
depending
not.
on the area.
That some you have to take care of everything.
Snitches get
Right.
stitches.
So it varies.
Second Wind said he made 0 from his YouTube channel. Us too. And nobody loves us, and that's it. No. And look, we had George here today. Not one of you lazy bums have given one sticker out. I'm just going to call your ass out now. You hurt George's feelings. No more coffee for you. No sandwich.
Hey, look, it says
no
King
nothing.
George. Well, actually, you just have a crown on.
I can reenact shitting on you last night.
Oh, all right, R. Kelly.
I peed on you last week to put that fire out. All that friction of that brown wood.
Anyway,
George, marshmallows.
you just have to add in.
Marshmallows and wood. It really felt good.
Oh my gosh!
Great. How about some backup of my opera?
All right.
Marshmallows and that brown wood. You know it did. You know it did. Here, say it. You know it did. You know it did. Come on, go. You know it did. You know
No,
it
it
did.
did.
Keep on. You keep saying it.
No.
I can't do the. Okay, when I point to you, you do. You know it did. You know it did. Ready? Marshmallows and the brown wood, and all of the friction goes frou frou frou.
You know it did. You know it did.
And I slid down that marshmallow hill into the sweet spot.
You know it did. You know it did. Anyway,
The other day I saw a bear out in the woods.
I still don't know
Oh,
that
way
song.
up there.
That's a
The
camping
other
song.
day I-
Not a camp song. A summer camp song, I believe, right?
Or using
I've never gone
YouTube
to
as a
summer
free
camp, so I wouldn't know.
advertising
Yeah.
platform. Now that does work to an extent, but that worked really well in the beginning. Like the biggest thing, like we do a bunch of shorts to advertise our live streams. It'll bring in another 100 views. Okay, we're not getting paid probably 10 cents on that. But the whole point is it promotes the channel for free is what it was originally meant for. And they'll get 500 views, and you got naysayers out there. Well, you only got 300 views. Your shit sucks. We don't care what the videos get, guys. It's just, we put it out. It does. And it's kind of like, it is good advertisement. YouTube is good advertisement for like when people are running restaurants. But I noticed they open the channels and they don't always post anything on it.
So, to directly answer your question, Thomas is asking, using YouTube as
Yeah, we
free
talked about that.
No, I know that. Okay.
No, I'm talking about.
Yeah. It's free advertisement for business. First off, if you plan on opening a business in the Philippines or in the US, or anywhere in the world, because YouTube is almost international, except in China, do it. You may not get advertising. Keyword, you may not get advertising, meaning you're probably not going to get viral. Let's be realistic. I'm not downing anybody. You may not get viral. You may not get popular on YouTube. However, if you have a business and somebody's interested, they're going to Google you. And for example, if you say Heidi's, marshmallow business, brown stick marshmallow business.
Yeah, buddy.
So if somebody's remotely interested, they're gonna Google you. Okay, Heidi's brown stick marshmallow, and then they're gonna search. If you have a video about it, people are gonna watch it, and they'll be like, "Oh, so that's what it's about." Yeah, that's exactly what I'm looking at. Or that's not what I'm looking at. So you already cleaned out the filter, meaning somebody was kind of like iffy, like, no, that's not what I'm looking for. They're not gonna waste your time. And the ones that do want exactly that, they're like, sign me up, Heidi, come on over. You get the picture. So what I'm saying is, don't think of it as you're gonna get free advertising. Think of it as you actually have an ad out there showing you what you do. So do it. You have nothing else to lose. Will it get viral? It might get viral if you have a really funny ass crap video. Yeah, it might get viral. Yeah, but it's better to have a video about what you're doing rather than zero. That's what I was getting at.
Yeah, and sometimes it's just a hit and miss.
It's a hit and miss. Right.
I was showing George that the latest is how these kids do
your
nothing
video can be so bad that it'll get viral. Your video can be so good that it won't get viral.
And we already, Curtis, I already personally was by myself when I talked about this vlogger, and it's more than one vlogger. I'm not aware of too many of them that are making over 1,000 a month, and even Kulos is at 63,000 views on a almost 2 million channel, and I doubt he's making $4,000 a month right now. It doesn't matter. He gets mostly Filipino views, and somebody was trying to say that this specific vlogger was all of his income. No, he was very clear it was his YouTube money. And I'm like, there's no way he's making 1,000 a week.
Realistically, is it possible? Yes, but realistically, no.
For him, no. I calculated.
Well,
even at $20 an hour, I've seen his lives, the stickers, and I did look at his membership. It's like at $2 each person. And there's no way. And the only thing we wouldn't know is if he's got 10,000.
I mean, if he has 2,000 members, but
that would be the only way.
That's why I said realistically, no. Is it possible? Yes.
Yeah,
But
I
realistically,
still call
again, no.
out.
But you know.
Yeah, that I just
Well,
don't.
I don't know. Again, I'm just saying that we don't know.
I'm gonna call it out. Bullshit. Does your mom's carpet match the curtain? Don't ask why. Maybe she has wax floors. Did you guys see? I was telling you. Did you see the Kim Kardashian's line of Skims? They're just what do you call that? The T-back underwears, and she's put furry hair down in the front now on the front of her underwear, so people can start wearing shag on their woo woos now as women. She's taken just T-back underwears and added faux hair on the front so women can show a bush now to their man. And they sold out on every color. And I'm like, you guys are just idiots. Just fucking idiots. You would pay $40 for a pair of underwears to put shag. And like some woman said, I'd grow my own bitch for $40.
The guys won't buy it.
Well, of course not. It was for women, babe.
I know that.
Yeah, I couldn't believe it. And I'm like, yeah, when he mentioned the car, that's what she actually put in the Skims.
Guys are utilitarians. What I'm saying is exactly what Heidi says. They're not gonna pay $40 when you can grow one yourself.
Yeah.
I mean, to a guy, when you say like, oh, it's $40 for this underwear, and they're like, shoot, that's almost the price of my Call of Duty. You know what I'm saying? They're not gonna spend that.
Yeah, it was.
Well, the point is, they still made money, didn't they?
They sold it out, yeah.
That's what I was getting at. So, kudos on them.
Yeah, right.
Shoot, if I can sell a toothpick with pubic hair on it, I'd do it.
That's
ugly.
Can you believe that?
That's
All
not
it
even
is.
classy.
I know. It is so freaking. And they sold out at $40 each.
Maybe it's more as a joke. No.
She was
People
serious.
buying it. People buying it.
Yeah, for
I mean,
maybe
I know I would buy it as a
Halloween.
joke, or a guy would buy it as a joke, like, "Hey, baby," or "Here you go."
But the weird part
got you,
is this is what their advertisement is. They're showing the women wearing them on
I guess that's technically illegal because it's not real.
Yeah.
But then that borders a lot of legality issues, though. I'm talking about the ad. I get it's not real and they're showing it on an ad, but that kind of breaks a lot of things. And again, it's not my opinion.
So then the people went onto social media, and like women my age that had gray hair, the woman took like a Brillo pad and literally glued it to a pair of like granny panties and said, hey, you didn't make any for old people. So of course people ran with this crazy shit. It was literally a silver Brillo pad on the front of granny panties. I about fell over. So yeah, people just ran with it, making fun of her. And so yeah, it's, what do they call that? Capitalism. And people are just stupid what they're spending their money on. And a lot of them are broken on welfare that are buying them as a joke. It's just like, thanks, U.S. government, for paying for that. My views on food stamps and federal government is running out of money, and food stamp stuff is going to get trimmed. Yeah, but the sad part is money is being spent in other areas still for stupid stuff. And here's the one thing, everybody will be punished for it. All the bad seeds and all the bad stuff going on in the government, it's going to be the elderly and the disabled that have zero chances of working. They're getting their money taken too. And there's a lot going on. So okay. I think they need to go through and start making like it's just weird. These women that have 6-7 kids, it's bad.
Since you just brought it up, and what I'm saying is this is how fast things will. I guarantee you this is going to happen.
It's going to escalate.
No. This is going to happen. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about your underwear thing.
Oh, no.
You just mentioned it.
Yeah. Uh-oh.
I predict there's a lot of women that's going to wear they're going to wear pantyhoses with underwear on and wear that outside and use that as a Halloween costume.
Oh, well, yeah, of course they're
Yeah.
going to.
And what I'm saying is it's going to be a lot, and they're going to cause a riot. Not a literal riot, but you get the picture.
Yeah. Hi, Pigsy Bear.
Because what I'm saying is, if I thought about it that soon, I'm pretty sure a lot. I mean, Halloween is right around the corner, but that's still a long ways from now. So yeah, I guarantee you those sold out sales are going to be for that costume. Just saying.
Well,
Because I didn't realize how crass it is. It's not even classy. It's just, to me, it's ugly. It's crass. It's gross. To me, it's gross. I mean, but
yeah, it's. And how's it? I mean,
I thought it was a little bit classier than that. No, it's crass. So no,
no,
I think that's.
And how you gonna wash them and they not stink and all that and certain material
Oh
in
well, I mean, but either way, I mean, that's their problem. But the point is, I'm pretty sure it was sold out because as a joke, as a content, as costume, as something else.
Yeah, I'd have made it for $40. So
Right.
yeah, it depends on what's going on. It most definitely. The last we were supposed to meet with somebody recently, and then that's when his parents passed away, and that's when I was literally super sick again. So when you come in and we check our dates of other people, that would be cool. Cool. We can come crash at your pad. Many states will cut off starting next month because of shutdown. Yes, the elderly and disabled will hurt. Well, here's my quick opinion. Here, 1 second. Let me check with the boss here. I'll leave it out. The unnecessary spending through the federal government as it is shut down, but not paying the air traffic people. I know they're working on it. They say they are. There's different stories out there. And the other employees, along with the food stamps, I really think that's a bad move. It doesn't give people the open door to go rob places or start riots.
No,
but believe
that's
me,
wrong.
people,
That's straight out wrong.
It is. But I'm gonna tell
Because,
you, they're ghetto, seriously ghetto, and seriously criminal.
No, that's just wrong.
But that is going to be their mentality, and so all the things that the political parties on both sides are calling each other will come true. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
they're going to show a criminal side for sure at that point, and they're just people are going to lose their mind. I'm telling you, by Christmas time, with this government shutdown and things going on, there's going to be a lot of bullshit.
Just bad breeding,
Crime's
or
gonna go
bad mentality, or bad
attitude
what I'm saying is,
and mental issues.
because you don't get your Meals on Wheels this month doesn't give you the right to rob McDonald's. That's just dumb. That doesn't even make any sense.
There's a lot of programs like that that are being affected.
Exactly.
It's sad. Yeah,
It's
go
like,
to the pantries. Go ask your neighbor for food.
Right.
Go ask. Go do something. Apply for a credit card and pay for it later. Some of y'all got credit. If you have bad... In other words, I'd be thinking about a million things. Try, like, putting your car on loan. They've got payday loans. You can do that for a few months. Why are you going to go to jail for 6 months for beating up? I'm going to beat that Walmart worker up if they follow me to the car. And I'm like, what the hell? Let me go to jail for 6 months and have my kids taken away or never get them back based on out there kicking ass.
Here's an example. Me and Heidi were watching the show.
I don't mind kicking ass, but...
We're watching the show, and it's called If You Can't Pay For It, We'll Take It.
It's the
okay,
repos
now
in
here's
the
the
UK.
thing. This is a true story. And these
Got
people
any
came
donuts in
in.
them boxes? I know you ignore me on that.
Well,
last one.
you're the ones with the nice donuts. Well, I have a pumpkin. Okay, so anyway,
What you talking about?
this lady
That
was.
box is empty, dude.
Oh,
I just want a sugar one.
Take the pumpkin.
No,
But
but
anyway,
you like the pumpkin
So
one.
here's the thing. Okay, here's a good example. So
Look,
these guys came in. They were there to take or repossess whatever to get their money back. Not them. They're just a service. So the lady took her pit bull to have, because she was dying. She had cancer, and she had the cancer taken out, operated, whatever, and it cost £4,000. Okay, obviously this is in Britain, so it's £4,000. So the guys came in and they were there to repossess whatever property of value that
George said repo the dog.
she can't. Well, it was a joke, obviously. So anyway, obviously, and then
George
she
said, "Take
says,
that dog."
She says,
Take
I
that
would
dog.
give you the money, but I really don't have it. We just got paid yesterday and we're broke already. And they did, and she was nice. She wasn't being an asshole, because a lot of times in this show,
They fight
people lose
back.
their brains, and they,
Hey, I lose my shit all the
they're
time.
hurt.
Yeah.
But this lady was really nice, and she was like, she let him in. She didn't fight him or anything. And then they did go around the house, and
They ought to make people
couldn't
apply
find
to be on
anything of
social
value.
media.
They literally couldn't find anything of value. Her daughter was there, and then she says the car that you're looking at belongs to my job, and the other car is only worth 400 pounds. And I'm like, wow, it's only worth 400 pounds. But anyway,
Yeah.
point being is they did go around and didn't find any value. And you can watch the video, and there really isn't anything of value in the house. So that tells me she wasn't lying. They even says there's nothing here. Point being is, what I'm saying is, if that kind of person is on welfare, then yeah, my heart goes to them, because they're not.
And really disabled.
But here's the
and
thing:
can't stand.
I know
or
a
in
lot of
wheelchair.
people that are in welfare. When I was in the U.S.,
Totally
and a lot
able,
of them are balling
tons,
with their 80-inch TVs and shit.
Multi-credit cards, ability to
pay.
No, it's true. We all know that. So that's the ones that really piss me off.
Right, exactly. That's what pissed me off. Is they have an Escalade outside. They're in Section 8. They have these 80-inch TVs. I'm like, what the frick?
Their families, yeah. And
Right.
so there is always a way. I told George, we were talking about this yesterday. I said, if people are like, oh, Heidi, you can lose your shit because of this shit. And I said, yeah, and I'll be walking down on Walking Street with the girls. Trust and believe.
And not to mention, Heidi's not that kind of disabled. It's earned disability. It's not,
Well, disabled enough through 3 or 4 different things. There's a lot of stuff. But what I'm saying is, even with me being quote unquote with terminal illnesses and things that could kill my kidneys tomorrow, the whole point is that I would still get out there.
Right. Well,
if it means death and starvation.
What Heidi's disability is like this. If any of you right now loses a leg, then you're disabled, but you're not that kind of disabled. You're still on a different bracket. You still have paid disability, not the disability where you didn't earn it.
These women that are threatening are absolutely dancing.
I'm just saying that. Well, that's
none
abuse.
of them are sick.
That's
yeah,
the abuse.
That's full abuse. That's the ones. Not you bitches talking about, oh, Heidi's on YouTube. Take her Social Security, and Heidi can work because she does a 2-hour live stream. No, I'm not out there hiking in front of.
That's different.
In front of people and doing all that stuff. And plus I have multi issues. And so, but if I have to get my hustle on because I don't have a dime and my kids or poor George doesn't have donuts, that's going to be the end of it. I'm going to be down there ruling those Japanese men in a damn parade. It's like, I'm going to be down there like a dominatrix with whips and shit.
Yeah. It's like one of those you guys. If your husband or you are doing carpentry work, that nail that
you're gonna find me on a fans only shit.
Yeah, if that nail that
George
you drove
feed me
went
donuts.
to your eye, that classifies as disabled, but you're still not on that type of disability. That's a different type of bracket.
Yeah, so you know, it's just where it is. It's controversial, but on the other hand, I can't believe
it is, but it's not.
In the last 24 hours, there's been nothing but the people on the.
Well, and there's a lot of them that says, "Oh, it'll be back on," and like, no, it's not. Because it's not possible, because Congress is still shut down. You know what I mean? But anyway.
The Escalades are a result of drug dealing. Well, yes, and among other things. Yeah, they come up with money anyways. Yeah, a lot. And that's another thing. You know what someone said? It was funny. They said, you know what they ought to do? They said Mexico and the other countries ought to stop importing the party favors or the drugs into the United States and let them fall off the shit for about a month or two. In other words, a lot of people in America need those drugs. You know, in other words, cut them off from the weed, the coke, everything, and then let them dry out for a while. In other words, all the tariffs being slammed. In other words, withhold. I thought it was hilarious. That would probably teach America a lesson.
Don't get me started with the rugs thing, because that's a different story entirely.
So what George is saying is cause of a shithead on TikTok is why a lot of people are getting flushed and having welfare being trimmed.
Not necessarily. Not in those words. What I'm saying is it doesn't help that social media makes things worse.
Well, it's not why it's being trimmed. The
No, no,
government
no.
is shut down. They're not agreeing on things. They're not listening to each other. That's a whole different ball game. But if there is no incoming money, then programs will be cut.
Well, here's the thing.
And so,
Social media is a bad thing. Fact. I know it's ironic that we're on social media. Too much knowledge is a bad thing. Like Heidi actually yesterday showed me a video. How is this legal on YouTube? And trust me, Heidi's not the only one that says,
yeah.
how is this legal on YouTube? Like how to
It
sell
was
rugs
called-
on YouTube. How to do this
Oh,
on YouTube.
Yeah. It was an entire, it's called Criminal TikTok, how to make ice and meth. But they use other words and they show how to do it, the pills and everything.
It's not just TikTok. It's on YouTube.
It's everywhere.
It's on
Yeah,
YouTube,
they show you how to go into Walmart and rob. There's a woman that tells you how to destroy your boyfriend's life, like pouring Kool-Aid packs on his mother's carpet or something. And the first time the grandkids run in from the swimming
how to
pool,
destroy their credit,
dump it
how
into
to do
her.
this, how to do
Right.
that.
It's
Yes.
crazy. And the one woman is an attorney. So what I'm saying is it's all toxic. Everybody has lost their fucking mind. I lost my mind from watching it. And then at some point, you think you got it together and you're like, fuck it, they're doing it. Why the fuck can't I do it shit now? And I tell George that all the time. And George is like the voice of reason. I'm like, okay. And it's like, well, I'll just wait for, shit to fall apart to do my criminal scheming. But it's just like, I can't believe what I'm watching and who is not policing this. And then you have other police policing them. So there was this other guy came through and he's like, that woman saying all that, they're going to be watching her when she comes into the Walmart. The government's watching her right now, but her shit's viral. She's got almost 2 million views on this video, which means she'll get paid well from the video and she's on welfare and she's not going to stop that incoming payment. And so all of this is in some cycle, and I'm like, people's got their eyes on one ball in the White House, and why aren't they catching this? It's because everybody's too busy getting away with something. Nobody, when one thing is going on, like the tearing down of the White House to build this ballroom, there's 5 other things going on in the White House. Now the situation of, I'm not going to get into that. I wasn't supposed to get that far into it. But the whole point is that social media is out of control. Talk about islands of misfit. The whole world is falling into some weird, and sometimes I'm thinking it's a mind control thing. Like when Charles Manson used to talk about that shit. Social media is being run by 8 or 9 big people. The richest people in the world is, taking the big sections of wealth. And now everybody's addicted to social media. Marriages are destroyed. Don't say it's because of them not getting along. No, social media is really putting a hard crush on marriages, relations. Kids don't listen anymore. They're on their phones all day. Everything's fucked. So it's just a really fucked up situation going on. But this thing on the food stamps, there's going to be some problems. And we always thought it's when they go to cut off Social Security on people would be the problem. That they'll eventually find a way. I don't know what the privatization is of Social Security right now. I'm not pretending I do. But the privatization of Social Security or messing with Social Security, they're talking about trimming it from the people that didn't pay in first and coming up. And I'm like, you just never know. I think that's going to cause a form of a riot and everything. So, yeah.
Now, again, even behind the cameras, I even tell Heidi this. It has nothing to do with the right side or the left side. Dennis Hunt says federal government shut down in 21st day so far. Pitiful. Now, what I was getting at is I saw a post today on Facebook, which I agree, 100% agree. Again, that has nothing to do with the right. Has nothing to do with the left. Again, I always say the point is it's what's right is right, what's wrong is wrong. I get the shutdown, but there's somebody who made a post that the U.S. military should get paid first before these politicians should, and I agree. And don't you guys agree? I mean,
it is crazy how they're
correct.
all,
correct. The U.S. military should be paid first before these politicians.
And there shouldn't be anything really going on in the White House. He's been having those dinner parties
for a lot of
stuff.
reasons. One,
doesn't matter, Democrat or Republic. He's had several dinners that are on tax money right now.
Right. Well,
during a shutdown was
and,
kind of
and like
weird.
I said, it has nothing to do with the right, nothing to do with the left. One, is the military. What's the military's job? Is to defend the country, right? So because there's a shutdown, they should stop defending the country? Of course not. And guess what? They won't. They'll, even if there's an invasion right now, not that they will, God forbid.
By the way, some of them are on food stamps.
Right.
Some of them only make so much money, and depending on what's going on, some have applied for some sort of those benefits.
Right. Regardless of what their current condition is, even if they're starving, they will still defend the country because most of these people, I said most, not so much all of them, but most of them will still defend this country regardless. Second, politicians, I hate to tell you guys, most of these politicians, they didn't get into office because they're poor. Most of these, presidents become presidents because they're billionaires from the get-go. Most of these congressmen, senators, you think that they were poor in the get-go? No. They were already rich. They can afford a month vacation unpaid. What I'm saying is, again, hashtag cancel George, reality is the U.S. military should be paid first before these politicians. That's my opinion. I mean, just saying.
Thomas, you repeated your statement twice. You just copied and pasted. It's kind of an off statement. I want to make a lot of money legally by selling or start long a business that caters to idiots. But I guess you meant caters to idiots. What advice? That just doesn't make any sense all the way around. So we've already made our statements on business. Don't do a business here as an expat or a Filipino. It's just a waste of money in this country. It really is. If businesses go down within 5 years on average everywhere around the world, it definitely crashes within a year here. And they're losing money and lie about it. So.
And again, we're not saying that it will fail. We never said that. We're saying it has a lower probability of succeeding. There's two different things. And also, partnerships, yeah, you have a better chance of surviving if you have partnerships, but you have to remember too, partnerships are like a double-edged sword. It can go against you, it can go with you. You'll never know.
It's just never good business to do business here. You will be beaten out by a Filipino, and the one will open a business next to you. So unless you got like literally 2-3 million US, and that's being legit, you're full what you should have at retirement if you did proper over the years to invest and lose and majorly lose, and you're just doing it for the fun of it and because you're bored, then don't do it at all. Unless you're in your 30s and 40s and multi-million tech person that can invest in properties and know what you're doing, then go ahead, most definitely. And yes, giving 40 billion to another country, not 20, is ridiculous during a government shutdown to somebody he considers friends. That it was, again, it doesn't matter what president it would have done it, it's still wrong. They can say whatever they want. Thank you, Dennis. Like I said, I guess Kim K tapped on the bandwagon. I'm surprised people are still buying her skim stuff. I know there are a lot of beautiful, skinny women in the United States. I know a lot of them are getting to be plus size or a different figure. They only sell them in so many sizes. But there are so many things that are similar to Skims. They could only be buying them because she's Kim Kardashian. And why? The woman's been around forever. She's not that fantastically. I don't get they're fascinated. They said, and I'll bring in the new generation thing. This new generation is buying it. They're saying it's getting bad here in the Philippines. They're broke here, but they're spending their money on things that are fashionable and used for the internet. They want to be seen in those items for the internet. And
I made that face because when
because they said Filipinos are buying these handbags just to put
that Filipinos are poor and they're broke. Oh my gosh, if you guys only knew. Move down here, you guys will know exactly.
And even like in our neighborhood, half the neighborhood, in my opinion, are super broke. They got new cars, new clothes, their packages being delivered, they got food being delivered all the time. And I'm like, I keep calling out, I am the welfare case in this neighborhood. And
okay, this is no joke. I literally was telling Heidi literally last couple days now. There's this. Okay, just real quick. Voltes 5. What's Voltes 5? Voltes 5 is the original Voltron. Okay, if you guys know Voltron, That's the original Voltron is Voltes 5, even from the name itself. Voltes, Voltron. There's that 14-inch toy here, wood made out of wood.
Hmm.
How much is it, Heidi? How much did I tell
I
you?
know well, it's 40,000 or 50 because it's 1,000 US
45,000
for a wooden
pesos.
statue, hand carved.
45,000 pesos.
Somebody's paying for those.
That's
here.
almost 1,000. It's like 890 pesos, depending on the conversion rate.
And he makes other things.
$8. I mean $890. That's what I meant. Point is, people buy that shit.
Yeah, I'm really surprised. We've talked about the cost of what you can make here versus what they sell here, but
Right.
that's a lot of places.
You guys will buy a wooden toy for $800. $800
when you can only make $10 a day here. Yeah.
That's not a lie. That's not an exaggeration. And
I came here to buy cheap, be with cheap, and I sure the hell ain't paying that.
Yeah, I actually have the message right now. I mean, on my phone. I mean, I can show Heidi, but
yeah, I mean, it just blows my mind. It really does. So,
right.
But got to be thankful and everything else for what is, and what isn't.
Yeah, or here's an example. There's this game, something.
Yeah.
Anyway, you can buy Goku. Some of you guys who play anime, there's this guy named Goku, right? You can buy it on the app for the game here in the Philippines. He's worth $50. You know what $50 is worth in the Philippines? The character you can buy online is worth 5 months rent. And guess what?
People,
I guarantee you, a lot of Filipinos
are buying it. Yeah.
Own freaking Goku on their freaking app.
It does blow my mind, yeah, because I'm playing that one game that I told you I play, and all of them are Filipinos that are ahead of me, and them weren't done for free.
Because I
have
showed
to
my
buy
best
from
friend.
that point.
I said, Goku's $50, and he's like, yeah, and I guarantee you, a lot of Filipinos own that shit.
Blows your mind. So we've talked
That's
about
5
that.
months rent here.
Oh my God!
Or
the beautiful, wonderful ballroom.
Or 2 months and a half rent if you live in a higher place establishment. Point being, it's stupid expensive.
I'm just going to ask for those in a room if you guys are going to respond. Who approves of that being torn down and being built, regardless of who's paying for it? Did he have the right to do that much construction and tear down of the building? And do you approve of a ballroom only? And the concrete over the rose garden. I personally feel it's pure destruction, but that could just be my thinking.
Okay, personally,
putting tiles and putting furniture in the White House, no other president has ripped down the whole side, a quarter section of the White House to build a ballroom or to build anything.
I honestly don't know, but I believe he does have that right.
Yeah.
I honestly don't know. I'm just guessing here, but I believe he does have that option, whether or not you guys admit it or not. Or
he has a legal option somewhere that can say he can totally tear down and rebuild. I get that. Is it right in front of the people during a government shutdown regardless?
Oh, that's a different story. That's a
when they're supposed
story.
to be closed down, and now he's got people out there working and doing all this. Somebody's paying
for it. The right
for
and the timing are two different things.
Yeah.
I don't think it's the right timing. No.
Yeah, so there's a lot of different things. I don't think he should be able to. It's not a matter of legally he's allowed to do it. I think morally, whether it's him or like Biden or that chick before, it doesn't matter what president. It's the president, not who it is. You guys got me all tricked out that it's a Republican, Democrat, and hating on the orange guy. Nope, ain't got nothing to do. It doesn't matter what president was in there. I think it's just wrong.
No, that's what I mean.
A lot of
the right and the timing are two different things. What I'm saying is, again, it's, for example, if you own your house and you're the head of household and you have kids, and
there's going to be looting.
There's no food in the house,
yeah.
And then you decide to do a renovation on the house. That's the timing what I'm talking about. It's like, wait, you're doing a renovation right now when people are kind of literally starving,
because he just had a dinner party less than a week ago during the shutdown, and a bunch of tech people gave him money. They're saying the money for the ballroom, not out loud, is not from the government paying for it, but it is going to be other people. So let's say it is. It's still being done, and he just threw a party to bring people in. Who paid for the party and everything else? Did he and the tech people? There's a lot going on.
Depending on the party, again, I don't. First off,
throwing a party is wrong in front of people, regardless of what
that's
it's
what I'm
for.
saying. I don't know. The reason why I say I don't know, because see, a lot of times rich people don't throw parties because they throw parties. A lot of times rich people throw parties because they're there to make money.
Yeah, well, he
And
was
that's
collecting
what
money.
I said. Right. So therefore, I don't know what the reasonings are
Yeah,
or whatever.
they should all get
So it's
paid.
one of those things.
ICE is having a hard time now with the illegals in the U.S. As far as arresting them or the things that they're doing.
Yeah, I mean that could be a lot of things. Yeah, I don't know.
I mean, it's not that there's any more illegals being added to their jobs. It's yeah, it's kind of crazy.
What I tell you.
What's that?
Yeah.
Nope, I agree. Yeah, I think we're gonna wrap this up, guys. We're 2 hours in, so Voltron. Yeah, he was. Second one says you were geeking out. No, he was just talking about we.
Well, the reason why he's Voltron because a lot of people don't know who Voltrus 5 is, although he was one of the original ones. But what I'm saying is the point is it's a 14-inch toy, and it's $890 here in the Philippines.
Oh, Hector. 1 second. Okay, here's my thing. I'm not going to put it up, Lou. 2 lives in a row, you mentioned this other channel, and I asked you before. Okay, weirdly, here you are mentioning again. The last time we left our live stream after you said that, they were running a live. And you've mentioned the channel again, and there is nothing wrong with their channel. So I know we said in the beginning to mention channels. What is going on with the couple that's totally falling apart? I mean, if they're fighting or not getting along or something, we just don't cover gossip on top of gossip. We'll cover our own gossip and say our own shit. But we don't go ripping after YouTube channels that aren't sitting there doing a bunch of shit that is totally against being an expat here. We're not that dark troll channels. And just not on top of it gossips. When we mention something, it's because their dumb asses bring it up themselves, aka Peachback Mountain. Anybody seen them bitches lately? Looks like the girl's not even around because now her and the man are doing videos back together again. It went to him and her and the stuff they told their people. Then it was just her on the channel all the time. Then he went off and got his girlfriend, brought her back, had her on there for a while. Last video someone sent us shows them both doing videos together again and showing daddy t-shirts with the baby. So what's up with that? So that type of stuff, people want us to continue to cover that. At that point, that's just really being a gossip and nitpicking. We initially said how they collected money from their viewers. They lied to their viewers about marriage and all this shit went down. Okay, that's something to cover, but that's twice in a row you mentioned it. I asked in the live what was up with it. You must have already left the room. You could be gone now. What's up with this channel? I already looked. I'm not going to watch every single video to figure it out. If it was evident that they're saying, hey, live on $400 a month, then we would say, hey, these guys are lying about their income. They're lying about what they spend. We'll go through all that. But I didn't see nothing immediate with them. You realize there are hundreds of them here that are even putting out misinformation. It's really needs to be good, not that we're anything different. And I see Hector and whatever calling out Thomas and all that. We kind of figure there's something going on with you guys not being who you are, still in that troll drama, whatever's actually going on. I don't know. I mean, we knew about Jasper back in the day. There's a lot of them that are like that are idiots. Curtis said, did 2 weeks in Manila last month. Every restaurant was full. Yeah, and they're spending the money. There's no
Oh yeah,
doubt.
go to the highest end restaurants, and I'm talking about the highest
They're
end
nothing but
restaurants.
Filipinos.
There's
They're
nothing
not
but
expats.
Filipinos. You'll be a minority.
So
Correct.
yeah, these people must be making their money a bunch of other ways. $50 pays 5 months rent where there are some cheap places in Tondo.
Huh?
Did you actually say 50 or did you mean a few months? I don't know. Is there something you...
Oh, I
didn't
meant
mean to.
a couple months. A couple months.
Yeah.
A couple months.
You're way out in the province in the boonies, it can get really cheap.
Well,
in a
technically,
place in
can you
Nipa.
rent a decent place in? See, back then you can rent like a 3,000 2-bedroom. Yeah, 2-bedroom, 1-bathroom house.
Yeah, take a nap.
5 years ago. That's not that long ago. 3,000. No, really, you still can. So not necessarily a bad one. I'm saying it's kind of like a below average. Not
There are places for rent.
Right.
There's Nipa Hut's place in Tondo, an individual bed like that
well,
guy's living
that's
in 20 a
Tondo,
month.
but what I'm
So
saying is an actual decent place.
yeah,
3,000 pesos will get you one. I'm not saying that's where we obviously don't live in.
Yeah,
But can
right.
you? But I meant a couple months rent.
All right, guys, we are
Yeah.
officially heading out. So we appreciate everybody being here, and we will talk to you guys. Let's see, next live stream beings. Now we're going to do them on Monday, Wednesday, so then it would be Saturday. So we'll see if we can get George up out of bed and motivated again. Say goodbye, George.
Bye, guys. Thank you so much.
Bye, guys, and thanks to all of our members being in here. Sarah, big shout out to Ted, everybody else.
There's Gio.
Hey, look at you. What are you asleep for?
He's not on camera though.
Yeah, I know.